Hey guys, it's early for me. I'm going to get this live stream out of the way. Want to just really expose the Premier League for what it is, guys. A satanic energy harvesting ritual. And I'm hoping what I'm about to say, not just with the numbers, just with the narrative, just with the logic behind it all, that you stop watching it. That you just stop watching it, that you stop giving your time to watching it and paying money to go to the stadiums and paying for Sky Sports licenses and paying for jerseys. It's not worth it at all in the slightest. So I'll discuss the Manchester derby because I know it's a high-profile game and it interests people. Again, I'm not doing this to promote sports. People say you promote sports. I do the opposite when it comes to professional sports. I don't promote them. I destroy them. I'm telling you not to watch them. Gambling is toxic, but I will keep exposing. So I knew this game was all about the number 42. Hello, Eyes Wide Open. Hope you well. Johnny G. Rashford is an invert. Yep, they all are. Hey, Faisy. John, how you doing, mate? Coca-Cola. So, as of now, here's what you're experiencing. Man United fans in elation. City fans frustrated. Arsenal fans delighted. So, it's all energy. It's all energy. And it's absolutely laughable that City are 1 point ahead of Man United. But it's the code. So, I knew this game was about 42. Remember yesterday, Aston Villa got their 42nd all-time win against Leeds, exactly 42 weeks before Unai Emery's birthday, the Villa coach. All right, so I knew it was about 42, and I knew there'd be 42s floating around. They do it in different ways. I've stated this. No offense, but I couldn't get into a bunch of grown men wrestling each other over a little ball. No offense taken. Wait, I need a spoon. No, I don't get offended by it. I love the game. I love football. But professional game, you can say whatever you want about it. And if you don't like football in general, I'm not a guy who's going to get upset and offended by that. There's a lot of people out there in the world that if you don't like what they like, they get offended or don't like you. I can't quite comprehend it. But it is the way it is with many people. So this was a strange game. And I did say in my live, I won't be shocked if it's 2-1 and both teams to score. But I did edge City. I thought City had a slightly better code. But I did tell my community you have to get on United double chance as soon as Villa scored, plus 300. So I'll briefly do that now. Hey, Maverick X, you grow every day, mate. Your knowledge, your codes get better every single day. Hello, baby. So the art of the cover, I'll quickly cover that for anyone who does still gamble. I hope eventually I have a community where nobody does, but I know a lot of people still do. Man City favourites, not big favourites, all right? Pretty much even money. They went up 1-0 reasonably late in the game, 60 minutes, so 2/3 of the way through the game, all right, which is 66.6%. It's why Villa, the villain Grealish, scored after 60 minutes, and it was Man City's 46th goal in the league. 4 sixes is 66.6%. And it's why Fernandes, who, by the way, the Queen died on Fernandez's 28th birthday, he equalised 4 months and 6 days after that date, which was his birthday and the Queen's death date. So 46 played hard here. And as soon as Grealish scored, I went on my website and I was like, for me, now's a perfect time to cover the double chance United plus 300. And it's just going off what I used to do. If a favourite went up reasonably late and they became 1-7, whatever they were, you take the double chance because anything can happen. I'm telling my community this. A lot of people are learning. Well done to Hans, who coded on my website Rashford to score. Some great finds there, mate. Again, I did tell you all of this, that Rashford would get massively rewarded after that Euro 2020 final. And he has been. He's suddenly become this top-class striker again. All right, I told you Saka would get England's Player of the Year, and everyone laughed at me. He got England's Player of the Year. So I see where it's going. I ain't always right, but so often I am. I did a big code with Man City and 313 connected to Pope Francis and Revelation. What does Sky Sports say? Super sub Grealish opens the scoring 3 minutes and 13 seconds after coming off the bench. And when I see things like that, I'm like, wow, this is a different level now, Adam. You mentioned 313, and the opening goal was from a player who scored 3 minutes and 13 seconds after he came on. Jack Grealish is a female. Watch the movie Bend It Like Beckham. Basically looks like Grealish, Keira Knightley. So United win it. And if you watch my lives yesterday, I was heavily talking about the number 4. I was like, geez, there's 4s everywhere. And the game was exactly 4 weeks after Pope Francis's birthday. All right. Man United just stayed on 4 season losses. And they literally just scored 2 goals in 4 minutes to stay on 2 draws and 4 losses in the league. Are you kidding me? And the 2-4, you can see it as in 4 minutes, they scored 2 goals. So from what I've read, because I can't watch any of these games, is City scored, then they dominated. And then out of nowhere, United got 2 goals in 4 minutes. And somebody said one of them were offside. I don't watch. Quite frankly, I don't care. But the goal was given. And I'm going to discuss all the 42s, guys, because it's connected to the beast. Manchester United are extremely connected to Revelation. That's why they're called the Red Devils. It's why they've been so dominant over the last 20, 30 years. I told you how 13 is a number connected to Satan heavily and Judas. That's why Sir Alex Ferguson won 13 Premier League titles. And then he retired right after he won his 13th. Remember the last game that he ever coached for Man United against West Brom? That finished 5-5. And Satan equals 55 and Red Devils equals 55. And Sir Alex Ferguson had issues with his brain on May the 5th, 5-5. At least that's what's reported. Right now, even Luke Shaw was the best left back. Exactly. Luke Shaw came on the scene as potentially going to be the next Roberto Carlos, the way that they were building him up. All right, the future of England, all of that, Luke Shaw. And he started off well. And then for a few years, he was one of the most mediocre players in the Premier League. Slow, couldn't turn, couldn't tackle, couldn't pass. It was laughable how bad he was. And then he suddenly became England's number 1 left back again. And now he's arguably one of the best left backs in the league. It's the demon. Why do you think Haaland, right? Haaland's been dominating. I've got him for the Golden Boot. He's just been dominating. Why has Haaland now gone 2 straight games without a shot on target? Because his code wasn't there. The games where he scored hat-tricks or back-to-back hat-tricks, I've done videos on them. He hasn't had a shot on target in the last 2 games, Haaland. Why? What's happened? Look who he's up against, guys. Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. Like, it's comical. De Gea's a mediocre goalkeeper. Hey, Yorak Yunus, Jeffrey, how you doing? Gigi, Harry Kane's in the live. I've heard a lot of people have brought him in fantasy football. So he always scores against Arsenal. Right, so just pay attention here. I'm not going to focus on the fact that I said both teams to score, that it'd be 2-1, because I did lean City. I definitely did lean City. But I saw all the other stuff. We had Rashford to score. There's all sorts of stuff that happened. People are congratulating me. I don't feel like I deserve to be congratulated on this. I actually covered too many things. I saw too many things. All right? So don't congratulate me on this. All right? That's how I see it. A lot of people won money on it. Someone might have just backed City and lost money and thought, oh, this illusion, even though I get the majority right. That's the way it is. And I'm fine with that now. I just want to reveal how big the number 42 is. So I basically said this. Villa just got their 42nd win versus Leeds exactly 42 weeks before their coach's birthday. So if 42 players in this game, I think it may favour City, but United have numbers, of course. All right. So I said, please post what you see as early games are dangerous. I think I've taught you all that. Early games are really dangerous and the favourite often doesn't win. The early game and the late game, but mainly the early game are dangerous because there's a lot of eyes on it, a lot of money on it, and most people take the favourite. So be careful with early games. That's why I often say both teams to score is the best pick for an early game. So with a win, City advanced to 42 points in the league, and they can do that by beating the Red Devils. So there was logic to that because the beast reigns for 42 months. It was fourth placed United versus second place City, another 42. I'm just showing you here why they played today. All right, at this time. The game was at 12:30 p.m. 12 plus 30 equals 42. I said it's wild that Haaland and Rashford come into this game with 42 goals combined in all competitions, and both are synced to revelation. And who got the winning goal? Rashford. All right, number 10. Who opened the scoring? Grealish, number 10. So Satan equals 10, as does God, but Satan's playing God on earth. That's what's very important to know. He's playing God on earth in his head. So I said this, United with a win stay on 4 Premier League losses and 2 draws. And that's what happened. With a draw, City have 4 draws and 2 losses in the league. This is why I say, so I saw the possibilities of the 42s in every outcome here, unfortunately. That is why, again, the art of the cover is soon as City went up, if you took City, you had to get United double chance because there was 42s for them to win and 42s for the draw. When that happens, that's when you have to cover. If Man United took the lead, there's nothing you can do. All right? There ain't anything you can do with that if you got on City. There's no need to double on them or whatever. The draw is always a dangerous one, but that's what you have to do with this. So it was all about 42. That's why in the space of 4 minutes, United scored 2 goals to win the game. So if United would have lost, they would have stayed on 35 season points, which connects to Satan and Baphomet because they both get you 35. But we've been talking a lot about 38 recently, how it connects to death. Anyone who knows gematria knows that. I was mentioning how in the Premier League, each team plays 38 games. And you'll see now that United are on 38 points after the win. And the combined points now of these teams is 77, which connects to 9/11. Flight 77 reportedly hit the 77-foot-tall Pentagon in Washington, D.C. on the 77th Meridian West after taking off at 8:20 a.m. and crashing at 9:37 a.m., 77 minutes later. And Bruno Fernandes, he remember when he scored 2 goals in the World Cup? That was 9 months and 11 days. 9 months and 11 days after his birthday. Bruno, the Goblin, synced up to 9/11. It's why Ronaldo, Bruno's Portugal teammate, made his second debut for Man United on 9/11. Do you remember that against Newcastle? Finished 4-1. 9/11 occurred on 41 date numerology. So it's just wild. The World Cup final was played 12-18. I did a perfect code yesterday for the Suns to drop to 18-12 in the conference. Well, Man City now 12 league wins in 18 games. 12-18. 12 times 18 is 216, which is 6 times 6 times 6. I've told you all the 666s with Grealish and with Fernandez. So, yeah, World Cup final, 12-18. Man City stay on 12 league wins in 18 games. Wow. So that basically means they've won 66.6% of their games. Wow, that's just hit me. They've won 66.6% of their games, 12 out of 18. Come on. Like, how many 666s? I said both teams' 18th game of the season in the league. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. Guardiola was born on the 18th day of the year. Now, check this out. Jack Grealish opened the scoring exactly 18 weeks after his birthday. Listen to what I'm saying here. All the 666s, 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. It was both teams' 18th game in the league. Guardiola born the 18th day of the year, and Grealish opened the scoring exactly 18 weeks after his birthday. 6 plus 6 plus 6, guys. And it was saying how Guardiola, master coach, inspired coach, brings on Grealish. Didn't he recently bring on Grealish against Chelsea and he got the winning goal? Like, it's nothing to do with the coaches. They can't coach. This is what frustrates me. I can coach. I coach teams, youth level. All right? Not on TV. No money involved in regards to gambling. Genuinely can coach. These guys can't. And how sickening is it that there's people taking these jobs who don't have talent just because they're demons or they're possessed by them? All the amazing footballers out there that don't get any higher than semi-professional because of that. And then the whole system or society just says, you just wasn't quite good enough. You're a great singer, but maybe you're not a star. Satan can make anyone a star. Look what he did with freaking those two twins, Jedward. No talent between them, but he got them in the top 10. Of course, it's the top 10 for Satan. Say 10. All the 10s I was talking about. Grealish, number 10. Rashford, number 10. Erik ten Hag. I told you he'd go to the Red Devils a year before he did. So, just beyond scandalous. Beyond scandalous. United also got their 12th win in the 18th game for the World Cup final date. Just what can you say about this? So this is what sometimes they do. I always find the numbers. More often than not, I'll sync up exactly what the number represents, but then they do this. I said City can stay on 3 draws and get 13th win in the league. A span of 3 months and 13 days after they last beat United. Francis became the Pope 3-1-3. So how did they bring out the 3-1-3? Jack Grealish has just scored 3 minutes and 13 seconds after coming on. 3-1-3. And what's interesting with 3-1-3, which I've synced many times and I should have put in the code, 3 times 13 is 39. How many points are Man City on? 39. So Grealish comes on, scores after 3 minutes, 13 seconds after coming on. 3 times 13 is 39. It's why World War II began in 39. Big number, 39. So is 93. And then City stay on 39 points. It's insane. It's insane. And Rashford, by the way, born on Halloween. He pushes coronavirus, does Rashford. And what do you wear on Halloween? You wear a mask. You wear a mask. Rashford is a demon. He's not actually that good at football. Rashford seems to go on these spells where he's incredible or he can't play football. It probably depends on the rituals that he's been performing. If he's been a good Satanist, he'll go on these runs where we scored 9 in 10 games, which is what, Grealish's birthday? So Come on, guys. It's beyond the joke now at this point. So this is why I often say to you all, I wish we could all do this like without the money aspect, without the emotional aspect, with a clear head. I'm at that point now. I was a huge Man United fan. I would be delighted right now. My whole weekend would be made. I would be so, so happy right now that United just beat City. Geez, we might actually win the title. Wow. I'd be begging for Spurs to do us a favour over Arsenal. I'd be messaging all my City mates, hammering them. Really sad, but I would have been. I would have bet on United. I used to always bet on United, although I rarely bet. When United played, I would get on them because it just gives you more energy, added interest. Like when they score, it feels even better because you've got money on it. So I would be ecstatic right now. I have no emotion in the sense of who wins these games now. I just look at it like, okay, yes, there's still people that gamble and they're going to get emotionally involved in it. I'll give them my insight and they can do whatever they want with it. But this is out of control now, guys. This has to be revelation with every number that I present, with the work that I'm doing. The video I just did about UFC, 42 main events last year in 2022. 20 plus 22, 42. Messi gets his 42nd trophy. Argentina get 42 million for lifting the World Cup trophy. They win 4-2 on penalties. The 2018 World Cup final was 4-2. Kobe died the 42nd year of his life. Since his death, all the NBA finals have finished 4-2. The Stanley Cup was 4-2 last year. The World Series was 4-2. The NBA finals was 4-2. Vatican City founded 42nd day of the year. Basilica gets struck twice by lightning, 42nd day of the year. I just really hope more people see this. I'm doing my best, literally working overtime. I had to cancel me in Kenya yesterday because I was exhausted. I was burnt out and I knew I had to stay home. So I missed out on a great night out from the look of it because I was just exhausted. And now it's what? 8:06. And I'm going live for you because this needs to be shared. It needs to be shared, guys. Because the way Sky Sports talk about this stuff, look at this, Haaland blunted. That's 2 consecutive games without a shot on target for Haaland. United just didn't allow him to get into the game. Nothing to do with United. Nothing to do with United in the slightest. So it's raving on about controversy now. The reason they do this with the controversial decisions is they want you talking about the game even after it's over. So they want you talking about VAR, should it have been offside, this, that, and the other. They want you to continue to talk about it. I'm doing it to reveal the deception. I'm not like, no way should that have been a goal. We should have at least come away with a point. I'm not being one of those people. I'm not saying, Rashford, wow, what a player. I don't do any of that. I expose it, guys. I expose it. Pep's beeline for the ref. Let's read what they're saying. No surprise that Pep Guardiola made a beeline for referee Stuart Atwell after the final whistle. His post-match press conference should be interesting after that controversial United level. So can somebody tell me exactly what happened? Was it offside? And if so, was it blatant? What's the point of VAR? So here's the rule book. This is what I mean, that they change. Have you noticed the rule book is changed every year? So at this point, nobody even knows the rules. They change them or they can make them up. It's not like we all have a copy of the FA rules. You know what I mean? Keep up the great work, Illusion. Thanks very much. You know what I mean? We don't have a copy of this rule book. So let's listen. See if they change it next week. Here's what the rule book says about interfering in an offside position. A player in an offside position at the moment the ball is played or touched by a teammate is only penalised on becoming involved in an active play by interfering with play by playing or touching the ball passed or touched by a teammate, or interfering with an opponent by preventing an opponent from playing or being able to play the ball by clearly obstructing the opponent's line of vision, or challenging an opponent for the ball, or clearly attempting to play a ball which is close when this action impacts on an opponent, or making an obvious action which clearly impacts on the ability of an opponent to play the ball. So all of those things there are opinion. They're opinion. Literally opinion. So it could change from ref to ref. Ten Hag celebrates Man United victory. You're a Satanist, Ten Hag, and you'll burn in hell. Simple as that. Unless you repent, you're going to hell. So you can cheer as much as you want. There's no doubts about this man now. What a job Erik Ten Hag has done at Old Trafford. Rashford is right. Ten Hag's decision to bring Garnacho on changed the game completely. What, Garnacho, who wears number 49? Revelation 49? Antichrist 49? The square root of 49 is 7. 7 times 7 is 49. You combine City and United's points, 39-38. You get 77. Is that why Garnacho changed the game? Because it was a satanic ritual. It seems 49 heavily connects to Satan. Hence, San Francisco 49ers. And the Church of Satan was founded in San Francisco. Why do you think Prince Philip died 4-9, eh? Why do you think 4 times 9 is 36 and 666 is the 36 triangular number? It's all coded. Now, I've told you, I care so much about the code. I watched the movie. I never watched movies, but my friend Chad sent me it. He sent me the movie Pi. I watched it last night. Can't remember the last time I just laid down and did something like that. All right, where he was obsessed with pi, and that whole movie shows you that numbers are the answer to practically everything within this realm. They're so powerful. So I am deeply fascinated and passionate about the code of the universe. I'm no longer deeply fascinated about who's going to win the Premier League. Will I get it right? I usually do, but I'm not bothered now. I'm bothered to see why. What's the code that allowed that to happen? And I'll do that whether I have 1 follower or 100,000. I'll still be trying to figure out this code. So, just absolutely scandalous. This was heavily connected to the Pope. It was on the 14th day of the year, which leaves 351 days left in the year. Francis was born the 351st day of the year with 14 days left in the year. That's why there was that 313 with Grealish. I've done videos about Grealish. He's in my World Cup book. And that worm celebration he did was biblical. Rashford gets the winning goal a span of 76 days after his birthday. 7 times 6, 42. City have now conceded 18 league goals after Grealish scored exactly 18 weeks after his birthday in what was both teams' 18th game in the league this season. I don't know what else I have to say, to be honest. They say Man City is the best team in the world with PSG. If Man United bring on Garnacho, who's supposedly so incredible, and he changed the game, why was he on the bench? Why was he on the bench if he's as good as they made out? You think that one player, that one young player, is that good? Is he? Is he that good to come on and change the game against arguably the best team in the world? If he was that good, he wouldn't be on the bench, would he? What's the name of the movie? Pi. I recommend everybody to watch it. And you know I don't recommend movies. I don't have a TV. I don't have Netflix. Certain movies I watch. Pi. All right? Good Will Hunting, Truman Show, where I can learn. I won't sit watching a show. You know what I mean? That everyone else is watching. No. So there's certain things that I will occasionally watch if somebody sends me something that I find interesting. And if it's about pi and numbers and numerical patterns and how everything has a numerical pattern, of course I'm going to watch it. It's very interesting. And what I liked about it, I don't like movies that go on and on and on for like 3 hours. It's only about an hour and a half. So again, just getting to my point, I'm not going to go live now and start saying, so who's going to win the game in this this game today and that game? I'm not going to do that. Number one, I don't care. And number two, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to reveal how outrageously coded this is. See how Guardiola got his 99th loss, which is 9 times 11. Prince Philip died the 99th day of the year at age 99 on 4-9. And who changed the game? Number 49. My throat. Something up with my throat. So the ball was played forward towards Rashford, who was in an offside position. However, he didn't touch it and followed the ball until Fernandes collected it and scored on his first touch. Right, so again, I'd have to see it to make a decision, but according to the rules, that's fine. Unless Rashford's blocked off a defender from getting to the ball or the goalkeeper, then according to the rules, he's done nothing wrong. If Fernandes was in an onside position. But again, VAR can do whatever they want. Have you seen the lines sometimes where it'll go like that? Like the line's not even straight. Or they'll tell you that a player's elbow was offside or his baby. The funniest one I've heard was somebody was offside because of their baby toe. Their little toe, they were offside. Like, they can do what they want. Satan, whoever's doing this, if they wasn't supposed to give a goal there and City was supposed to win 1-0, it wouldn't have been given. It wouldn't have been given. It's that simple. Remember the game where Man United lost and then they blew the final whistle, but then they gave them a penalty and they drew against Brighton? They literally scored, Man United, after the final whistle was blown because they went to VAR. How can you do that? The game's over. Yet they got the penalty for whatever reason. It may have been to take the energy out of the stadium of Brighton or the people who bet or whatever. But how can you blow the final whistle, Brighton players are celebrating, and then go, wait, I'm going to VAR. Oh, it's a penalty, and Bruno scores. How do people accept this, guys? Should have seen Liverpool versus Wolves VAR. What happened with that? Oh, that was the FA Cup game, right? Where so many games were 2-2. That whole day was about 22. I didn't see what happened. I just can't. I can't watch. I don't know if Satan's a he or she at all. It's an entity. I'm not even sure if spirits, demons have a gender, to be honest, or if they're a combination like Baphomet. So yeah, I don't know if Satan's a he or a she. Quite frankly, I don't care. It's an entity that I believe is reigning. I'm not bothered about it being male or female. Liverpool was supposed to lose. I don't agree with that. If it was 2-2, it was supposed to be 2-2. I don't believe Liverpool was supposed to lose. I believe it was supposed to be 2-2 because that's the code. The movie's Pi, literally P-I. So I'm flabbergasted by. All right, Fernandes said this: Rashford didn't impact my goal. It's always important to win the game. It doesn't matter the opponent. All that matters is winning. Great effort from the team. From what I heard, Man United weren't that good. Did you see at halftime, Man United had 4 shots and Man City had 2? Come on, guys. Just scandalous. Jack Grealish nearly bites the referee's ear off. Little invert with calf implants. So isn't it interesting, right, how the fixture list, you have the Manchester Derby today. And what's going on tomorrow? The North London Derby? How ideal, eh? How ideal. You got the Manchester derby, which was second against fourth. And again, Man United won the game with 2 goals in 4 minutes, stayed on 2 draws and 4 losses. Nothing to see there. And then tomorrow you have Arsenal, Spurs. So this is 4 out of the top 5. It's so interesting, isn't it, how these teams play each other, how convenient it is. So now they'll say stuff like, over to you, Arsenal. So what have you got? City fans, United fans supporting Spurs tomorrow. Arsenal fans desperate to win because, wow, geez, we can get an 8-point lead. The neutral, interested, what's going on? I hope it's a draw of Spurs because it makes it a lot more exciting, doesn't it? Fixture, fix. It's fixed. It's predetermined like all the games. Whether the players and coaches know, whether Rashford knew he was getting the winner or not, whether Fernandes knew he was equalising or Grealish knew 3 minutes after coming on he was going to score. Whether they know it or not, I believe that they know they work for Satan. And I firmly believe they don't care about winning, drawing, or losing. They want to fulfill the ritual. They just want the energy. They want the exposure. When they win that trophy or whatever it is that they win, the trophy, the medal, they're not that bothered, guys. They get a thrill from taking your energy. A lot of them probably get more joy in losing. You see it. You see players. See Mane like smile when he missed a penalty. You see a lot of them, players getting knocked out and laughing whilst their fans are crying. Enough's enough. Guys, it's up to you whether you want to keep worshipping them and idolizing them and caring about the outcomes of these games or ascending like I have. I was a devout United fan, a huge football fan. I would have been up at 5 a.m. to watch this game. I would have been biting my nails. How cringeworthy. And if you're still doing that, I'm not going to judge you because I was that person. But I hope by watching my videos and seeing what I expose every day and how passionate I am about exposing professional sports, that you think twice about caring, that you think twice about gambling on them. Think about where that money could be going. You know what I mean? Yes, there's potential to win extra money from this knowledge, for sure. And yes, if you follow someone like me, you probably would win money if you gambled. But is it worth it? Is it worth sacrificing so much energy for a little bit of extra money that won't probably have a significant change in your life? The $10 you invest in me for my website will change your life. It's changed hundreds of people's lives, they tell me. But you know what I mean? Is it really worth it? Sidemen, thank you so much, mate. Hope you're having a blessed day, Adam. Thank you. It's very early. I'm going to ensure that I have a blessed day. I just saw the time was 8:21. Like Diego Maradona scored 8 goals in 21 World Cup games, and 8-2-1's 142nd prime. 142's Valentine's Day, Eriksen's birthday, Di Maria's birthday. Eriksen had a cardiac arrest. Di Maria does the heart celebration. Scored after 36 minutes in the World Cup final. Diego Maradona died with 36 days left in the year. So I like doing things like that. Just saying that, people go, wow, oh yeah, everything I've just said there, you can actually check. But how do you know all of this? Holy Spirit, research, guided by the Holy Spirit, in my opinion. And when I realized that I could be 90% every month in sports and it still won't be enough for people who are not supposed to wake up, I slept a lot better at night. So whether I'm 90%, 80%, 50%, 40%, those who don't believe are not gonna. I'm not gonna be able to convince them. I did the UFC video. There'll still be people who watch that who are going to be watching the next main event of UFC. Somebody left a comment on my website saying he attends a church, and every time there's a UFC event, they all meet up and they all put money in and they go to the bar. So they go into the bar to drink. Again, I'm not judging anyone for that. I do it. And they bet on UFC to watch guys or girls competing in the octagon, trying to destroy each other. It's just, for me, it doesn't sit right, and it never has. I'd never go watch UFC. Just didn't sit right with me at all. But Sidemen, I hope you have a really blessed day as well, all of you. Barca Madrid tomorrow. I'll have a little glance out of interest. I've told you, in these big games, I look into them because there's just so much ritual involved. There really is. So we'll see what they're going to do with this. I'll tell you why. I don't know where the game's at, and I could be wrong because, again, I'm just glancing at this. So it's not the league. Good job. It's not the league. It's the Super Cup final. King Fahd International Stadium, Real Madrid, connected to royalty, the kings of Europe. I think it's very challenging to code like Spanish cups. Finding the information is beyond difficult to do. But I'll have a look at the odds out of curiosity because there's no home advantage. You can still do head-to-head with them. So let me have a little look. Where is this? What will it be under? Just let me have a little look at this. They'll probably make them similar odds, to be honest. All right, where's this competition? No, I can't find it. Okay. Is it the Copa del Rey? Oh, the Super Copa. It's the Super Copa, isn't it? Or the Super Cup. All right, Barcelona, slight favourites. When they're playing it, 15-1, 36 prime, 151. So they've made Barcelona favourites. I did have Barca to win the league before the season began. And I see that they're leading by 3 points. All connected to Xavi, who, again, another guy who's come out of nowhere. What is it like Barcelona? Their captain was Guardiola. He becomes an unbelievable coach. Basically played exactly like Xavi. Now Xavi's Barcelona's coach and is doing great. Like how is this being done? Like so many of these stories just get recycled. Good morning, 6079 Smith. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. I still don't understand how you get them right. Also, how do you know which numbers to choose to predict? It takes talent. I do have a lot of talent for this, and I'm really getting better at not being arrogant, but I do have a lot of talent for this. I'll tell you this, Gary, this isn't for everybody. Not everyone can do this. Not everybody can do a triple backflip. You know what I mean? However many times you try. Somebody can say, here's how you do it. Here's where you plant your foot. Here's where you've got to look. Here's the angle of your hip. Not everybody's going to do a triple backflip. I know that the way I code, however well I deliver the code and teach it, that people are not just going to get to my level. It's like anything. You know what I mean? We're not all the same. For me, I spent close to 2 years giving my life to the code. Giving my life to the code. 12, 14, 15 hours coding. Whether it's sports, the death, the world, the universe, whatever it was. Gave my life to it. Gave up my social life. Gave up my marriage. Gave up my house. Gave up my job. Gave up my hobbies. Gave up being Adam. I became obsessed and consumed by the code. And it is very true in many ways. The harder you work, the more you gain. In many ways not. But in this case, yes. And I kept going and just making different syncs, seeing what was working, meeting new people, learning from them. And I started to see what numbers were the most significant. So I would look for those numbers. And a lot of people say this about me, and I think I agree with them. I code like without thinking now. So I don't have like a specific way in which I code. A lot of people are asking me to do gematria classes. I would be a great teacher of that. I could, and I was going to do that and get like 8 to 10 people, and they pay me what, $10 or whatever for the hour, because it would need something like that, because I barely have any free time anyway. But a lot of people have asked me to do gematria classes group, and I'm like, I don't want to do gematria classes. I do more than gematria. I wouldn't call it a gematria class. I would call it, I don't code in the universe class. So how do I predict so many and so consistent in every sport? God has given me a gift or given me a calling, and I answered. And my work ethic is off the charts, and sometimes it's beautiful and sometimes it's detrimental to my health. So I'm just synced to the code, mate. I'm synced to the code for whatever reason. I am, and I don't have to ask why. I just am. And I want to share my gifts. This is where I'm different to the occult. People saying I'm a member of the occult because I studied Jewish mysticism. Not at all. Never been a member of an occult at all. Never will be. So I gather information through the Holy Spirit and my work ethic. And I was an intelligent guy before all of this. And I share it. I'm so excited to share it with you all. I could have been very, very selfish on this journey. I could be making far more money by just gambling, keeping my mouth shut. Nobody has to know who I am, know my story. I don't have to go live. I could have just easily stayed under the radar with this knowledge, won a ton of money, because I was doing that, and then I quit gambling because of the energy. I could have done that. That would have been the easiest route for me. And I could be making more than I am now for a lot less work. But what am I learning from that, really? I get joy from inspiring. It's why I was an English teacher, still am, football coach, why I used to volunteer at schools teaching athletics for free. I love to inspire, and I can inspire through this knowledge. I do. I change lives. I have. How can I give that up? That platform that I have, that I've worked my ass off. People keep asking me, what's it take to have a successful YouTube channel? For someone like me who's organic, who's revealing the truth and exposing deception, beyond challenging. I'm gobsmacked I still have one, even though I don't do anything wrong. I'm gobsmacked. But I pound out live streams day after day, different content. Yesterday, I was doing an impression of Harry Kane, setting myself up for a WrestleMania match with Harry Kane. Where did that come from? You can't rehearse stuff like that. You know what I mean? You just can't. So I've got all this knowledge, these gifts, the ability to basically see where the world's going, and I can still joke around and do impressions and make fun out of myself and accept that I don't know everything and that I can be wrong. I'm getting better at that. I have to make sure that I don't think I'm better than everybody. And I had a stage of that. I had that before my awakening. And I'm going to ensure I never do that again. There was a guy yesterday messaging me saying, I'm really going to go out of my way to expose you. And I was so nice to him, and he knows that. And if he's watching now, he knows. I went back and forth with him for about 30 minutes. I even said, mate, I'll call you if you want. I'll call you and look you in the eye and tell you who I am. So he says I'm a Satanist and I'm going to burn in hell because I work for Satan, because I studied Jewish mysticism and I'm leading people to gambling. So he said all of this. I didn't snap because I know that's not who I am. I know that. So why snap? If there's all these accusations, why snap if you know within your soul that that's a lie? So I just said, listen, mate, my work speaks for itself. Go look at all my videos. I don't just talk about sports. I'm on Team God. All right? I call out Satan every single day. So at least tell me where you're coming from here. Why am I a Satanist? And then he just sent the gematria. He literally typed in the illusion 144, pedophile 144. And that's what I'm dealing with. I could have snapped and gone, what that? I was like, mate, come on. So what I did, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you how big 144 is and 153 to show you that they're not negative numbers. They're beautiful numbers that have been infiltrated. All right. So 144,000 angels sealed. I was born on 14/4, my dad's birthday, the Father and the Son. There's 1,440 minutes in a day. I was telling him all of this. I said with the 153, how Jesus caught 153 fish. Okay, which was an amazing miracle performed by Jesus after his resurrection from the dead. So he was saying the illusion is 144, 153. I've now given him a new outlook to what those numbers are. What does the number 216 mean? That's really interesting because in the movie Pi, that seems to be the most important number, 216. So first of all, 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. 21 is the sixth triangular number. So the 216 heavily connects to 6, which heavily connects to Satan, which heavily connects to man. All right, it's the number of the beast, number of a man. So 216 is also connected to summer solstice because the 21st of June is summer solstice, and that's when Prince William was born, who is the first son of King Charles, who's connected to the Antichrist, as is William. So 21/6, it seems to be huge, and 21 times 6 is 126, and the beast reigns for 1,260 days, which is 42 months. So it's just beautiful to see that everything around, everything I'm looking at right now has a numerical pattern. Every single thing, whether it's these behind me, the fridge, these rims where I cook my food, the internet that I'm using here, the keyboard I've got over there, all right? All connects to numbers. The water that I'm drinking. And we've just not been taught that. We've not been shown that. The education system, I've told you, in many ways it's beautiful, is education. But it's designed, the system's designed to indoctrinate the youth of the world. All right? However, if done right, education's beautiful. What I'm doing now is teaching you, and it's a beautiful thing. When you're at school, they intentionally teach you numbers in a way that makes you not want to learn about them. They don't inspire you. You don't realize how incredibly sacred they are, how relevant they are to the universe. You just get taught your basic timetables when you're young. Okay, we need that. We need to learn how to count, tell the time, know how much money that we have in our pocket. All right, I'm fully aware of that. We need the basics when it comes to math. And then when it gets to middle school, high school, and you're learning algebra and equations, which don't really have any substance to what most people do in their life, you start to think, oh, it's math. Imagine I taught math. You should have seen, I got standing ovations a few months ago when I worked at the school for a week. Standing ovations at the end of the classes for the way I taught the class. Because I brought together math, English, science, history in a class in one. They stood up and clapped for me. How many teachers get standing ovations? So, of course, I miss being at the school and being around the kids and being around the teachers. I don't miss the meetings. I don't miss the grading. I don't miss the structure to it all. But I miss a lot about being in the school, and I gave it all up for this. Now I'm teaching adults, kids. There was a 19-year-old messaging me last night who I don't even know from Instagram. I respond to everybody. Do you know why I responded to the 19-year-old? Because he was curious, because he was asking questions. All right, and he's coming to me for answers. I don't have all the answers. I need to put that on my website disclaimer. I don't have all the answers to the universe. I have my logic behind how I see the world. But more often than not, people come to me with questions, wanting a concrete answer, like I am the ultimate, when I'm not. That's why I say I think, because I don't know a lot of the things that I actually talk about. I don't know for a fact. I say I think, and I often at least back up my opinions with substance. I won't just call Pink a transgender. I'll show you the Adonis belt. I'll show you the straight back. I'll show you the masculine features. I'll show you all of that. I'll show that the way Pink walks, she doesn't cross her legs. She walks like a toy soldier. So I have a right to come out and say that. And then somebody attempts to say it about me. And there's no substance to it. Same with calling me a Satanist. It don't make any sense. It just makes no sense. So it's interesting. They don't teach about base 12 numbering system. That's very true. Adam was born 180, 16 days after the Pope, which is the zip code of Bethlehem. What? No. I know. No. Mate, if that is true, that's the best fan you've ever done in regards to me. I need to check this out. And where can I find this? I need to see this if you're being legit. So Adam was born 108, 16 days after the Pope, which is the zip code of Bethlehem. Again, I don't know the zip code of Bethlehem. 18016. No. If this is the case, mate, how synced up I am with Pope Francis. I'm getting chills. If this is legit. You've seen my syncs with Messi? His birthday and mine, insane. I'm synced up with these goats, guys. My numbers are. And I can't figure out why, but I am. Oh my goodness, is right. 6, 7, 9. I need to take a breath. I'm almost crying. Wait. How did you do that? Wait. Oh man. 6079 Smith, you've almost got me crying, mate. How I can't even talk. Wait. How am I born 18016 days after Pope Francis and 18016 is the zip code for Bethlehem? Nah. No. How? I said I was chosen for this, and I've said it, not the chosen one. I said I was chosen for this. I can't believe that. God. It's the best thing you've ever sent me. I always talk about Pope Francis, every code. Did it today. The guy became the Pope 3-1-3, and then Grealish scores 3 minutes and 13 seconds after coming on. Sorry about that, guys. Because we know how Bethlehem is the birthplace of Jesus. Well, did you know that 10 kilometers is 6.2 miles? So just learning that 10 connects to 6.2 as well. 62 is connected to the Queen. She was coronated on 6/2 in 1953, the 60-second triangular number. They originally said
Her funeral will be 10 days after she died and changed it to 11. Thank you for that 6079 Smith. It takes a lot to get me going with a find. Frank Lampard will get a win today with Everton. Any reason why? Many are called, but few get chosen. I agree with that. I agree with that. It's the first time I've read it, 6079 Smith. How do I unblock someone in the chat? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even that savvy when it comes to technology to say I'm an influencer. I don't know. You probably have to go through the settings. If anybody can answer Lady Hawk's question, how do you unblock someone in the chat? I'm not sure. Did you block someone so you can't see the comments, or have I blocked somebody? I think the only people I've ever blocked is Amani Anani, but he has about 9,000 accounts. Adam is chosen. That's why his numbers are connected. Us mere mortals just have random numbers. I don't want to compare you guys with mere mortals and me being above you. I'm not above you in any capacity. I'm just synced to the code. And maybe my whole life I have been, but I was distracted by the world. Maybe I've always been synced up to it. I did say from a young age, I felt like I had a deep purpose in life from a very young age. But I thought it was to be a footballer. I was born in 33 and 42 date numerology. I have a World Cup book. The final was 3-3 and 4-2 on penalties. I had my awakening at age 33. I was born on my father's birthday. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. My dad always talks about how important the Spirit is. I never knew what he meant. I never knew what he meant by the Spirit. I couldn't understand what he was talking about. We can all be chosen. The choice is ours. I think that's a better way of putting it than saying that I've been chosen and you guys haven't. I think what she just said is bang on. We can all be chosen. The choice is ours. Somewhat, yeah. Just like belief in Jesus. People might say, well, you were chosen to believe in Jesus at 33 and wake up at 33. I don't think I was. I don't think I was designed and chosen by God for this to happen. I really deeply believe that the way that I've lived my life and the journey I've been on led me to having an awakening at 33. And on many occasions, I could have walked away from this because it was becoming too much. I was losing friendships. I was losing my mind. I was losing my mind for a few months because I wasn't sleeping and I was coding 12, 15 hours a day at a very high level. So I was just trying to figure out what's the universe? Who am I? Why am I here? Why am I living in Mexico? Why did I meet this girl? Why didn't I become a footballer with all the ability that I had? Why did I go to LA, Los Angeles, which means the angels? Why did I never believe in God? Why did I can't say I ever hated God because that's too strong of a word. But anytime anyone talked about God or tried to convert me, I would dismiss it in an instant. So why was I so dead against God? I believe arguably because Satan had me. I was so in love with the world. So I was asking all these questions which can drive a man insane. But then I studied the word insane, and I actually think I am. I think I'm insane. And I'll tell you why. So insane, in a state of mind which prevents normal perception, behavior, or social interaction. I don't like the aspect of seriously mentally ill, but the element of being in a state of mind which prevents normal perception and behavior or social interaction. That is me. I don't play along with society. I don't interact with society how they expect me to interact because I speak my mind, I speak my truth. All right. So, am I insane? Yeah. Yeah, I am. So they say sane is a person of sound mind. All right, not mad. Most of the geniuses, guys, they always get called insane. It's because they think outside of the box. Be insane in an insane world. What does that say about you? You know what I mean? Do you want to be normal in a satanic system? Do you want to be regarded as normal? No. You don't want to be seen as normal in a satanic system. You want to be insane. You want to question it. Again, the Joker would always get called insane. I thought the Joker was so on the ball with society. Always loved the Joker, me. Never liked Batman. Never liked Spider-Man, Superman. Loved the Joker. Is real. And how does the Joker always get portrayed? Insane. Smarter than all those superheroes put together is the Joker. But he's the insane one. So if anyone does call me insane now, I take it as a huge compliment. I go, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am insane. Again, insane, you can use that term with a positive connotation. Wow, that's insane. That was insane. So insane, have you noticed how it can have a positive connotation? I don't think being insane is negative. Mentally ill, crazy, psychopath. Okay? Yeah. There's an issue with that. Absolutely. So imagine watching the Premier League today. It's half time in 4 games and they're all 0-0. These are the best players in the world, supposedly. Best players in the world. And there's how many games going on? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 8 teams involved. No goals between them. And what will I have in the back of my ear? It's just great defending. It's great defending. Come on. It's just, come on. Your videos changed my perspective about the world. It's one of the best compliments you can ever give me. When you tell me that. And I'm trying to think how to go next level with this knowledge. Do I stop with the sports? Will that take me next level? Will that limit me? Is it the astrology? Is it having a more solid knowledge of scripture? Is it taking breaks? My friend Maurice, really good guy, he told me, and he didn't compare me to God. I don't think he was comparing me to God in any way. But he said, you work too hard. Even God needed a day off. So he told me I need to take a day off a week, a full day off. I said, it can't be Sunday though. People are obsessed with the NFL on Sunday. It can't be Sunday. So we both said, Wednesday, middle of the week, take a day off. Make people appreciate you. Have a break. Turn your phone off for 24 hours. I think he's right. I do 7 days a week doing this and have done for over 2 years. My break in December was writing a book 8 to 10 hours a day. That was my break. Working. So I think it'd actually even be great for the community if I took 1 day off and do 6 out of 7. What I have to be very, very wary of is burning out. How I haven't already, I don't get. I always say it has to be the Holy Spirit lit within me. But I don't understand how I've not burnt out. I code every day at high level, live stream, which requires so much energy. Oh, thank you to the guy in my community who said Rotherham over Blackburn. I've just seen it finish 4-0. That's a shock. But is anything a shock in pro sports anymore? Probably not. But thank you for that. Look at this. Brighton dominant. Penalty overturned for offside after Alisson fouled March. So again, just energy harvesting. Alisson's taken out March. It's a blatant foul, but there's some offside in the build-up, which probably had no say in what happened with the foul. So Brighton fans are going crazy, thinking they've got a penalty. Wow, against Liverpool. No, they've given it and then overturned it. Just stop watching it, guys. Stop watching it. So somebody just scored now, you said. In what game? I don't care. But there was like next to no goals. My point is, you've got these world-class players, and so often there's games that have no goals at the half. Keep you on the edge of your seat, you know what I mean? They rarely have it where a team's getting blown out by half-time because the energy's gone. Sometimes it happens. They want to keep it close in many other games by the half. You've got stuff to discuss at half-time, this, that, and the other. I know how they do it. Can you decode Aussie rules? Yes, I've done it. I've called futures in Aussie rules. It's no different to any other sport. So yeah, I can do it. I think one of them I called the exact score in that Aussie rules finals. It was connected to, was there some Devils playing or something? Is there a team in the AFL that has Devils in its name recently? I'm pretty sure I covered them. Wright brothers, first in flight 33 years before the Pope's birth. The first flight was not Kitty Hawk, but Cool Devil Hills. Wow, like Vatican Hills. Yeah, you told me about the 33. The Wright brothers' first flight was exactly 33 years before the Pope's birth. Because it was 1903, wasn't it? The Wright brothers. I've told you Satan's behind aviation. And the book of Revelation says towards the end times, the world will be closer than it's ever been. And he's done that through travel and the internet. Travel and the internet. Brought the world together. And that's why they want a new world order, because it's the Antichrist. When there's a new world order and the whole world's connected, that's when the Antichrist rises. So be aware of that. That's what's going to go on. All these agreements in Israel and all these Arab nations and with the US and with the Vatican Church, Catholic Church, when they really start pushing that one world and it comes to fruition, and there's a one world government, one world currency, one world religion, which will be Satanism, because if you don't worship Satan, you'll get cast out of society like Lucifer was cast out of heaven. And that's on its way, guys. Not to scare you, because if you believe in God, it doesn't scare you, it excites you. The end times excites you if you believe in God. If you don't, it scares you. Some believers are scared of it. I'm not. Bring it on. Rashford goal was energy harvesting. I told you 2 goals in 4 minutes. It was second against fourth. Man United stayed on 2 draws, got the 4th loss. Stayed on 4 losses. Exactly 4 weeks after the Pope's birthday. I knew 4 would be big in this game, and they literally got 2 goals within 4 minutes. So it's just all there every day with these codes. And I've told you practically every time I get it right. There's times where I get it wrong, and I'm not worried about getting it wrong because I've proven my point. I've just proven my point at this point. Just so you all know, my YouTube videos, I've saved them all. If they're going to randomly just take me down, I'm not naive enough to not have saved them. Been taking a lot of time saving them. I recommend a few of you, if you're not busy, or at least the ones that you like of my work, I highly recommend that you download some of my videos. If you have that video going, this calendar video is the best video I've ever seen, download it. If there's a video where I'm ruining the Premier League and you want to show your friends and they're starting to open up to it, download that video. Not all of them. Because at some point they're going to get rid of me. At some point the internet won't be what it is today. I'm saying that. All right. That's why I'll enjoy my YouTube channel, my website whilst I have it. All right. At some point, people like me will not be inspiring you. You won't even be able to communicate with me. I feel like that. Who knows if that's 10 years, 20 years, 3 years, 1 year, who knows? So taking this knowledge now, because that won't be taken off you. My YouTube channel can be taken off me at any point. My Patreon got taken off me for no reason. This knowledge won't be taken off me. That's why every day I learn something new, every single day. Make it closer because they don't want City winning every year. Nobody would watch. Well, what's interesting, I said all the 46s today. So many 46s. If City don't win it, Guardiola's 4-6 Premier League since he took over at City. 56 is enormous, so he could win it. 46 is huge as well. And again, if we want to quickly discuss Arsenal, their squad is mediocre. It's mediocre, and it's potentially going to go 8 points clear tomorrow. Although I doubt they win. Because like somebody just said, they'll want to keep it close. If Arsenal have an 8-point lead halfway through January, it's going to need a big comeback from one of the Manchester teams. I can't see United winning it, but they might. If the code's for them, they might. I'll be really shocked. Really, really shocked. And the odds suggest Man United are not winning it. I notice, do they make many of the games close, but always give it to the team with the most money or pay them off for entertainment? It's not about money. They split the money. It's not about money. People say that. Somebody the other day said Chelsea got paid off not to score. It's not. It's not about... It's the code, mate. It's the code. Certain teams have better codes than other, and they justify it. Whoever's doing this, Satan, whoever's behind it, a supercomputer, if they know that Man City have all these numbers, right, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to give them a new owner. We're going to let them sign the best players. We're going to justify. We're going to get them the best coach. So Newcastle clearly have numbers at the moment. So what they'll do, they get them new owners, get them a relatively respective coach. Then they're going to invest money in the squad. And that's how it operates, it seems. The code dictates it. It's not money. The World Cup wasn't in Qatar for money. It was biblical, the Middle East. It was to do with Saturnalia as well. It wasn't because FIFA wanted money, because those who own FIFA own the monetary system. Those who own the Premier League own the monetary system. When you realize that, you stop blaming it on Vegas. You stop blaming it on money. They don't flip scripts. It's the code. When you learn the code, you'll get the majority of the games right. You'll still get codes wrong because humans are designed to make mistakes. I am a human. Yes, I have the Holy Spirit in me. I think we all do. But I'm going to make errors of judgment. I'm going to be on the wrong side of a riddle. I ain't always going to get 100% in the exam. But when you learn the code, you're going to be one of the top students of the universe. The universe is a classroom. And we're here to learn. We're here to learn. Abraham House is the one world religion. Yeah, look into the Abraham Accords. Man City versus Man United match was already based on algorithm 42. Yep, algorithm 42, script 42. My whole code was revolved around 42. The issue was Man City could get to 42 points. Man United could stay on 4 losses and 2 draws. Man City could get the 4th draw and stay on 2 losses. The algorithm, Satan, God, whoever it is, doesn't make it easy at all. Even when a team's minus 500, all right, where it looks like this is a gimme. No, they rarely are. There are no gimmies in coding the universe. There's no gimmies to it. If they were, we'd all be a lot better off, wouldn't we? If we all knew where these games were going and who were going to win every time. Messi will win this 8th Ballon d'Or like the World Cup logo. He has to, doesn't he? He did nothing for Paris Saint-Germain. They might give it Mbappe. Mbappe, who got 56 goals in 56 games, he was the Golden Boot winner at the World Cup. They might give it Mbappe. Messi didn't do anything at club level. But I've not looked at the odds. If the odds are massively suggesting it's Messi, then I'm sure it will be. If the odds are screaming Messi, I'd have to look at it. But yeah, he could get his 8th. We know how big 8 is with infinity, with energy. I've done a whole video about the number 8. Really incredible video about the number 8. So he might get it. He may get it. I'll have to look at the odds. Like, who else could possibly get it? It was always between Ronaldo and Messi. Ronaldo's done nothing. Neymar's done nothing. Lewandowski, maybe. But no, it's probably Messi. Let me see. When even is that? I called Benzema Ballon d'Or ages ago, and he got it. All right. Okay, so it's ages away, so it doesn't matter. So if Messi flies with PSG, let me look at this. Well, Messi captained this country to the World Cup. The World Cup's every 4 years, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be him. What about Villa's keeper as well? That Martinez was Arsenal's second choice, and then saying he's the best player in the world. It's going to be Messi, isn't it? Messi will win it. The GOAT. The GOAT, which is Baphomet. But again, what Satan does, he tells you GOAT is greatest of all time, an acronym. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. But how can they all be GOATs? Greatest of all time means one. How can Pele be the GOAT? How's Maradona the GOAT? How's Ronaldo the GOAT? How's Messi the GOAT? How's Chris Jericho the GOAT? Or Ric Flair the GOAT? How are they all GOATs? How can they all be the greatest of all time? The GOAT is Baphomet. When they're the GOAT, they're telling you who they communicate with, who gives them their gift. Baphomet. If you don't know who Baphomet is, I'll type it in the chat. You can research Baphomet. The GOAT. Half human, half goat, but has male and female genitalia. It's why I tell you all of these A-list celebrities are inverted. Because the Baphomet has both genitalia. Penis, vagina, breasts, goat's head. Remember Danny O'Brien? Call him the goat. He did the flying goat. He had the beard like a billy goat. What happened with him? He got right to the top of wrestling. He beat Triple H and Batista. All right? Tiny little Danny O'Brien. How? Why is he such a phenomenal wrestler? Why did he get to the top of wrestling? Hard work, dedication? No, there's loads of wrestlers that have hard work, dedication, talent. He got there because of Baphomet. He married a Bella who's a bloke, Brie Bella, just like Nikki Bella, the sisters, the Bella twins, and men. That's why John Cena got with Nikki. Nikki's a man's name. And then Nikki Bella was dating Dolph Ziggler, who was called Nikki before becoming Dolph Ziggler. Nick. Again, Dolph Ziggler's a female. So John Cena's with Nikki Bella. Daniel Bryan was with Brie Bella, or still is. Supposedly have child together or children. Nonsense, not theirs. Brie Bella cannot give birth to a child. It's a man. Do you have a video on how you decode? Not specifically, no. I've done many one-on-ones with people where I've shown them how I code. One of the beautiful things I like that anytime I've done a one-on-one with somebody, they've always wanted another class. So that makes me feel good. But I don't necessarily have a video on YouTube about how I code because I don't have a specific way of coding, really. I flow. I don't start from here to here. I don't work like that. I've never worked like that. Told you when I was a footballer, if my coach said, you have to stay out wide, you have to do this, you have to focus on not letting the fullback get beyond you. All right. You have to release the ball in 2 touches. If they gave me restrictions, I don't operate that way. If they let me just get the ball and be free, like most coaches, because they believed in my ability, they said, Adam, Edders, you go play free roll. All right, you go pick up the ball wherever you want to pick it up. Just don't go getting it off the centre halves. All right, I want you high up the pitch. If they would do that with me, I could win the game by myself because I had no restrictions. That's why I don't play along with the restrictions of this. I don't like to be restricted. Maybe my marriage made me feel a bit that way, that I was being restricted, because I always had to basically ask somebody else for permission. I think that's a lot of people who are married. You can't just go do whatever you want. And it's not so much asking for permission, it's almost acceptance at times. It's just that communication. I can't handle being restricted. So when it comes to coding, I don't go, right, I'm going to check date durations. Then I'm going to check the standings. Then I'm going to check the coach's record. I don't. So the best thing, if you ever want to see our code, if I agree to it, because I've been saying no to a lot of people, do an hour with me. I'll say, all right, give me a game now. Give me anything in the world you want me to code. Anything. Whether it's about you, whether it's about somebody's death, whether it's about where the world's gone, whether it's about a game, a daily game. Give me anything and I'll show you how I do it. Just like my live streams. There's a base to what I'm talking about. I was focusing on the Premier League being corrupt and the City and United game. Completely gone off topic now. But I'm not focusing on that. So yeah. I don't have a way of coding, bro, like a specific formula as to what I do. I get guided. By something divine. And that's it. I can help you. I've helped tons of people. Loads of people. I'm going to say thank you to my community. Some of the codes you're doing, somebody last night, Denver Nuggets plus 181, somebody like just all the codes you seem to be posting, the Devils hockey game one. At this point, I don't even know if I have to code sports because the people in my community, and they'll admit it themselves, they're now coding like me. They're not copying. No. Woo! They ain't copying at all. They're being inspired by me. All right? Which is an amazing thing. It's not copying being inspired by somebody. That's not copying. Okay? So if they're using Pope, Kobe numbers, satanic numbers, revelation numbers, they've learned that from me. They've taken that on board. They've acknowledged the information and they're using it for themselves to help other people. They ain't copying my codes. Copying my codes would be copying and pasting my codes like people have done and putting it on their Patreon or Discord. That's copying. All right. Being inspired by the way in which I code, which is now helping you and helping my community and other people, I do not see that as copying. Somebody emailed me saying, you don't mind if I base my decodes off the way you code? Absolutely not. That's why I'm there, baby. Go for it. Please. That's an honor to me. I don't think, wait, this guy's going to learn how to code like me and he might get better than me and he might take my members. I don't care. I hope you get better than me or people get better than me. I might not be here forever. Who knows if something happens to me in a year, a week. Hope it doesn't. I hope somebody else can come in and do what I do and do it better than me. And I don't mean that being cocky. I hope that they are. So if you want to do this chat with me, here's how I do this as well. And can you give me advice about this? Is Moyes the next manager to be sacked? I can't just Brighton 2-0. I have Brighton here. Brighton not to lose. I've just seen the 2-0 against Liverpool, who I predicted would finish 6th. Crazy, I was talking about March so often recently, and Solly March has just scored 2, unless it's been disallowed. March connects to war, the soldiers march. So yeah, that should hit. Unless Liverpool score 3 goals now, that Brighton double chance should hit. I'll tell you why if I'm still here at the end of that game. Crazy what I found. So in regards to is Moyes the next manager to be sacked, I need to look more into it. I need the Spirit to guide me. I said, I talk about 42 all the time, right? I'll give you an example of why I predicted Gerrard would be fired this year. Just to give you an example. I can't just say, yeah, I think it's going to be Moyes. No. I said Steven George Gerrard, George, would be fired by Aston Villa, the villains, at age 42 this season. People said, no, he won't. He's going to be an amazing manager. He's going to eventually replace Klopp. He still might. But I said Gerrard gets fired this year at age 42. I said he was born in 1980 when the Georgia Guidestones were erected and the Georgia Guidestones came down 42 years later. So I said, watch Gerrard get fired at 42 before the season began. And he got fired at 42. So when it comes to Moyes, I can't just say, oh, West Ham are struggling or this, that, and the other. It doesn't mean anything because these teams, these coaches, they can go on massive runs of wins. You've seen it. Teams don't win in 9 and then go undefeated in 11. And then they say, I don't know, either a new manager comes in or a player comes back from injury, or they've changed the formation, or they've brought in a few players that were on the bench who've been key to their drastic change in form. There's always justification for it. So Moyes, is he going to get fired? I don't know why or what numbers he has for him to get fired. 6079 Smith, yep, you are original. I don't think anyone in the world codes like you. I think you're exceptional and phenomenal. Some of your codes go over my head. I'll keep telling you that. Some of them go over my head, and I don't know where you're getting the numbers from. The majority of them blow my mind. And I've said your best finds don't involve numbers. Like some of the stuff that you do is remarkable, mate. And I know at times it might be frustrating, like thinking, why don't I have a following? Why don't I have all eyes on me with how good I am? I give you that platform, brother, and you know that. You've tried this with Zach, with other people. They'll dismiss you. They won't read out your comments. Do I read out every comment you do? No, because you leave so many, and sometimes I don't look at the chat, and sometimes I don't want the whole live to be about one person in the chat. I tell you how amazing you are. You're phenomenal. You've helped me. You've made me better. I've made you better. We code differently, but we're all on the same page. We completely acknowledge that the world's coded. And we want to use our knowledge of the code to help people, not to divide people or to just gain personal reward from the knowledge, which again, I told you, I don't need to have a website. I could just gamble. Look at Brighton here, 2-0 up against Liverpool. But I chose the truth and the knowledge above the money. Do I make money from this? Of course I do. Should do. My word for the work I put in. I should be. But again, let's break this down. I don't want to talk about my personal finances, but I'm going to do it because I've only ever been open to you guys, haven't I? Only ever told you everything about when I was a child, from my marriage to giving up my house to living in LA to living in a shitty apartment to finding God to my gambling journey. Giving you it all, sometimes too much. I'll give you another example right now. And some of you will go, wow, that's amazing. Other people go, oh, that's not that much. Other people won't care what I'm about to say. And that's fine. My website, which my word, I've worked my ass off to have, especially after Patreon got taken off me. Thank you, Gabriel, for everything. As of now, again, I haven't checked this morning, so I don't know. I have over 400 people paying me $10 a month, which works out at $9.13 after PayPal takes me. So I'm making probably at this juncture more than I've ever made online. So I would say overall, as of now, and it can change, it can fluctuate, it is what it is. As of now, with my website and with YouTube and with people wanting one-on-one classes and this, that, and the other, I could be making close to $4,500 a month, right? A lot of money to a lot of people. Not a lot of money to a lot of people. I know loads of people in Mexico where I live making that type of money in a week, working in sales, stuff like that. So from this knowledge that I'm sharing from the website, from YouTube, from one-on-one classes, I'm probably making about 40,000 a year. Is that a lot of money? To a lot of people, yes. All right. Don't let me look you in the eye like that's peanuts. But the majority of my friends in England are doing average 9 to 5 jobs, making between 30 and 40 grand. So for all the work I'm doing, guys, I'm not getting rich. For the people who say I'm getting rich from this, 40,000 a year is a lot of money online. But it's pretty much my full-time job. Yes, I coach and I teach English, but I focus more on this. It's not making me rich. But thankfully, I live a lifestyle now, because I'm not obsessed with materialism, where that money pays my rent, pays for me to go out for dinners, pays for the expenses and that, and I have plenty left over. So I don't need more money. And that's why I've said there's a very good chance when I hit 500, and when, not if, because I will with what I do. I don't see why I'm going to get worse at what I'm doing. I'll probably limit it. I'll probably say that's it. Like restaurants do, full capacity. I don't need 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people paying me $10. I don't need that level of money. So I just want to let you know that I'm being open with you. I'm not making 30 grand a month like some people in this community. And if they do that, so be it. There's a chance Arsenal lose. Yeah, there's a very big chance Arsenal lose. Because of how big the number 44 is. 44 is enormous. It's why Grealish scored 4 months and 4 days after his birthday. 44 is enormous, and they can stay on 44 points. So there's a lot for Spurs to win. And it narrative-wise, storytelling, energy harvesting, it makes sense for Arsenal not to win. Where's the game at? Yeah, 4 grand a month. As of now, the most I've ever made online. So basically $1 grand a week. And you might look at that and go, wow, I wish I could do that. I'm only making, I don't know, 1,500 and I work my ass off 9 to 5. That's not my problem. I left the matrix, right? Here's what I did. Let me take this jacket off. I'm getting hot. Oh, what time is it? 9:22. Right. I left the matrix somewhat. I don't know if you can ever fully escape it. I was making very good money. Well, not very good money. Good money in an international school, teaching. I did private English classes outside of that. I was coaching private classes and coaching 2 teams. So I had plenty of money coming in. And I liked what I did. All right. Was it similar to what I'm on now? I would say it was a little bit less from doing that. But then I had other ways of income as well. I decided to quit my job teaching, coaching. And I told you for 6 or 7 months, I lived off gambling because I had savings in my account. So I was basically a professional gambler for 7 months. And I was winning more money than I was making through teaching and coaching. So I thought I had life just sorted out. I'm making a living from gambling. Oh my goodness. How easy is this? Beach 4 or 5 days a week at times during this journey. Although I was pretty much consumed with the knowledge and stayed in my apartment more often than not, but I would still find a bit of time to go to the beach. And then I set up a Patreon, didn't think anything of it, started to grow. My hit rate was just exceptional. It started to grow. My YouTube started to grow. I was making no money from YouTube. I didn't set up YouTube to make money. I didn't even know you could make money off YouTube when I started. And now I'm at a point, almost 3 years later, coding the universe, inspiring hundreds, if not thousands of people. And now I'm making a living through inspiring people. If anybody has a problem with that, they have a problem with themselves. Anyone who has a problem with me being successful through this work and the knowledge that I have is either jealous. I think it has to be jealousy. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense to have a problem. There's people in the world like making 200, 300, 400 grand a year, 500 grand, working in stocks and shares, these doctors, lawyers, all right, supposed footballers making 100 grand a week. I'm decoding the universe, working 8 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, make 4 grand, which is a lot of money to a lot of people. But remember, I was putting on 2 grand bets at even money. I was betting 3 grand on a game at plus 150, more often than not hitting. So I could go about doing that again, but I won't. I'll never, ever gamble again in my entire life. Because it definitely has a say in my coding. I don't do it for the right reasons. And for example, now with Brighton, I would have screamed seeing the 2-0 up. Yes! Yes! Solid match, get in there. I would have done that if I had money on it. Now I look at it and go, oh, God. Just a joke. I'm going to reveal why Liverpool are probably not winning this game at this point. Keep doing what you're doing. That's what she said. Don't block God's blessings by denying him to provide money. Even God didn't send his kid to camp without money. Thank you. I think my best way of talking about money is this, and I think you can't dismiss it. I rave on about energy. I have more energy than most. All right. I'm not hyperactive or anything like that. I can be the most chilled guy ever, but I'm full of energy. Energy is currency, like an electric current. Currency is money. People support me because of the energy that I give out and the knowledge. So again, whether I have 4 grand a month, 8 grand, 16, 20, 40, 2, $500, that should be irrelevant to what I'm doing. Why are you even worrying about it? I even said that with Zach. This is the difference with Zach and I, is this. He promised to set up a community with funds. If you donated, he would set up a community, all right? Where you would all live, all the coders would live happily ever after. But you have to just support Zach sending money. Lots of people did that. I don't care if Zach makes $50 a month, 50 grand, 100 grand doing what he does. People sign up, they sign up. But as soon as you start telling people, donate to the cause and I'm going to provide this, and you don't provide it, people will attack you. I don't care what he makes if he just kept his mouth shut and didn't ask people to donate for a cause that never happened. So be it. If people want to invest $5 in him, $1, $10, give him super chats, pay him $100 a month. Somebody yesterday, thank you so much, out of nowhere, and I thanked them and I asked why, sent me a $57 tip. And I was like, is this Super Bowl 57? Like, is it because the Argentina coach won the World Cup final in his 57th game? Like, where did that come from? And I thanked him. I couldn't believe it. It was a blessing. For some people, $57 is nothing. For me, it's a blessing. I just thought, right, I'm buying Kenya dinner. That's all I thought in my head with that. I thought about how I'm going to spend it on Kenya. So again, it depends on where you are in the world. I lived in Manhattan Beach getting $140 an hour coaching private classes. $140 for me then was amazing. The guy giving me it, who lives in a $12 million house on the Strand, he didn't care. $140 to a homeless guy, if I was just to go give a homeless guy $140 now, that'd be monumental for him. So again, you can't have a go at a person making money for being an influencer. Nobody's making anybody pay anything. Are they? Nobody's doing that. So don't get wrapped up in it all. Don't get upset that it's not happening to you. Don't think I'm doing this for ulterior motives when you don't know my story. Because the reality is, with or without a website, I've always been extremely comfortable with money. So again, don't judge me for money. It's almost comical. City ain't winning the league. It would be boring for the masses to watch. Not if they come back. People want, like a movie, you want that. It would be boring now if City were up by 15 points, all right? That would be boring. City right now are 5 points behind Arsenal. Could be 6 or 8 this time tomorrow. I don't even know what time the game is. It won't be boring if it's like a horse race. All right, think about a horse race. There's a horse race going on, and there's one horse that flies out of the traps and dominates the whole race and just wins it incredibly comfortably. If you're watching that, there's not much fun. If you've got a bet on, there's not much fun. That one horse from start to finish just flew. If you've got a bet involved and there's City and Arsenal and United and it goes to their nose, neck to neck to see who wins, that's entertaining. Even if you miss out, you're entertained. That seems to be where they're going this season with these 3 teams. In regards to Spurs, I don't necessarily know where they are in the league. I know they're 5th, but I don't know how far they are off top. Let's have a look. Yeah. So if Spurs win, they're somewhat still in the title race, aren't they? They'll go on 36 points. They'll go up to 4th, and they'll be 8 points off Arsenal. So Newcastle, will there be fans thinking they're going to win it? Probably not. But they'll probably win the next game. Who have they got? They'll probably beat Fulham because they can go 10-8-1. And I know 1,081 is a huge number. First of all, it connects to 42 with the 181. But it's the 46 triangular number. 46s have been everywhere today. Just from that alone, right now, I bet Newcastle beat Fulham for that 10-8-1. 46 triangular number. The reason there's so many 46s is not just because of its correlation with 666. Because Biden's your 46th president, guys. I told you all Lakers and LeBron. Well, LeBron's going to be 4 and 6 in NBA Finals when he retires. Told you all that years ago when everyone was saying Lakers are going to win it. I said, look at LeBron, 4 and 6. So again, understanding how big the 46 is, you start seeing why JFK was assassinated at age 46. And how big the Kennedys are with the code that we live in. Just want to make sure you saw my note. I know the Bella twins' brother very well. I never met them, but I highly doubt they are a man. Why do you highly doubt? Have you studied the anatomy of the Bellas? You can look, but you can't touch. So you think these 2 Bella twins who got Italian descent, who couldn't wrestle, and then eventually became better, but they couldn't wrestle, both came on the scene and became 2 of the top stars in wrestling, and then have Total Divas and then their own show spin-off. In Satan's realm, you just think it's 2 reasonably attractive looking girls who were average athletes. You think that's what happened with those 2? And then they married One of them married Daniel Bryan. The other one dated John Cena, who's in Hollywood. Can you just take a careful look at Nikki Bella's face and hips? Look at that jawline on Nikki Bella. She's got fake titties. They all do. I don't think Brie Bella does. She doesn't have any. But these women wrestlers, mate, your Chyna, your Charlotte Flair, your Baileys, your Nia Jaxes, they're men. Why do you think Becky Lynch calls herself the man? Just to take the piss. And to take the piss and tell the truth at the same time. That's what they're amazing at. They'll take the piss out of you, but they'll tell you the truth. So they'll say, Becky Lynch, the man. And she'll say, I'm the man. And she has the Baphomet on the back of her leather jacket. No, she's only saying she's the man because she wants to be on the same level as the men. No, she's literally telling you she's a man. Can you code the AFL for 2023? I could quite easily do that. Yep. Absolutely. Congrats, Arsenal, winning the league, deceiving the masses. We haven't won it yet, mate. They won't make it that easy. First and second will be Guardiola and Arteta. And I said that at the beginning. I said it was connected to Guardiola, who worked with Arteta at Man City. Arteta was his assistant coach. And I said, I bet that they go up against each other, but City will win. I did say City will win the league. Once you realize these women are men, you can't unsee it. Bang on. Once you find God, you can't go back. Once you see, like you said, how outrageous it is with the transgender agenda, you can't go back if you have the eyes to see. Once you fully see through the government, you can't go back. Once you accept sports are coded satanic rituals, you can't ever go back. The hardest bit is acceptance. What do a lot of gay people say? The hardest thing was accepting I was gay and coming out. They say it's the hardest thing is accepting it and coming out. With this knowledge, accepting that our whole reality pretty much is coded and connected to Satanism. How many people in the world want to accept that or willing to accept that? They will deny it at all costs. At all costs. And it's understandable to have your whole illusion of the world be shattered. Painful. It was painful for me. I got through it. A lot of people won't. They'll feel a bit of pain, then they'll turn back to the Matrix. I went through a lot of pain because everything I thought I loved was a lie almost, other than my family, my wife, like my passion for sports and for teaching. That was all legit. But all the other stuff, the celebrities that I looked up to, professional sports, which I was obsessed with, like I literally did trust the medical system. I did believe in doctors and nurses. I had no reason not to. I believed if you were sick, you go to the hospital, they wanted to make you feel better and help you. I don't anymore. I love the education system. I don't believe in it anymore. I loved watching movies and TV shows. Don't own a TV anymore. So a lot has happened with me to get to where I am now. It's not something that happened overnight. It was a wild journey. And now I'm just at a point in my life where I know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I care about. And I know what's bullshit. And if something's bullshit, I'll expose it. Who wins the Premier League? Again, Gary, it's not that simple. It's Arsenal or City. City was my pick at the beginning of the season was City to win the league, Haaland Golden Boot. Haaland was 4-1 Golden Boot. He's going to get it. Unless he gets injured, he's got that award. So that's already pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered. And then I saw a huge 56 ritual for Man City and Guardiola. But now I'm seeing how big 46 is. It's everywhere, 46. So see if Newcastle win tomorrow. See. And if Guardiola don't win, he's won 4 out of 6. Catholic's 46. He coached at Barcelona, the Catalans, the most Catholic club in the world. And then there's all this riddle for Arteta, which I pointed out at the beginning with coronavirus. He's been synced up to coronavirus. Corona means crown. Is he going to be crowned Premier League champion? He was the first Premier League coach to test positive for coronavirus. He was born 26-3. 263 is the 56 prime. Arsenal FC equals 56. Coronavirus 56. COVID vaccine 56. Boris Johnson put the UK into lockdown for the second time on a day, leaving 56 days left in the year, and he had a 56-page document. Arsenal have an exceptional riddle with coronavirus and the Queen. Royal family equals 56. An unbelievable riddle. I've shown you how that Eddie Nketiah, however you pronounce his name, is all about the Queen. I've done about 3 videos on that guy. And he's having a great season. Why do you think Jesus got injured? So he could come in, who has all the numbers with the Queen. And he keeps scoring. At this juncture, the only thing that I prefer about Man City at this very moment is the odds. Is how they're still the favourites for the Premier League, despite being 5 points behind and playing a game more. They're still the favourites. If I was any of you out there who like to bet, I wouldn't bet on Man City at this point. If I was going to bet right now at this juncture with the odds of plus 150 right now, if I bet, I'd have a small bet on Arsenal. At least at the end you go, well, City, innit? I should have known better. And you'll kind of just brush it off. If you back City at this point with what's going on with Arsenal, you'll be like, why the heck did I take City? What the heck? So they both have really good riddles. Arsenal's riddle at this juncture is better. But I'm shocked that they're not the favourites right now. If they beat Spurs tomorrow, Brighton 3-0. Boom. This is sickening. I'm going to explain. This is why I'm happy that Brighton have won, but I'm also like, oh my goodness, get ready for this. This could be a separate video. Is there anyone in my community that took Brighton or the double chance? Let me know in the chat. It frustrates me when I do codes and people don't touch them. Yeah, Liverpool are bad all of a sudden. Let's break. I told you they'd finished 6th this season before the season began. Is that a big call? Yes, it's a huge call. Why? Because they won 2 trophies last year. They got to the Champions League final. They went to the last game of the season where they could have won the league. So it was a massive call, me saying they're going to finish 6th. Massive. So how did Liverpool, and how are they going to justify it? Mane left. Mane left. There'll always be a justification. Mane left. What, for 42 million? You don't bet, great. Don't apologise for not betting. It's a great thing. Are these players controlled like robots? Yeah. But they're not aware of it. Yeah, I believe so. So, Brian, you know how you play FIFA or Pro Evo? When you play those games? Or you're playing your war games, Call of Duty? Who's controlling it? So when you're playing with Brighton on FIFA and Danny Welbeck scores, who's behind that? You? Is it the algorithm? Does that character within the computer think he scored? Do they have consciousness? We don't know any of this. So when you're playing FIFA, who's truly behind the outcome? Is it the algorithm? Or is it just because you're so good? Or the other player's so bad? Notice how Welbeck just scored after 82 minutes. Who else scored after 82 minutes today? Who else? Rashford. Now get this. Rashford and Welbeck have practically the same career. They both came through the academy. They both scored on the debut. They both grew up in the same estate. They both played for England. Danny Welbeck's just scored after 82 minutes, the same day Rashford did. The Queen was born 4-2, the 82nd prime. England went to war with Argentina in 82, the Falklands War, which lasted 10 weeks. Rashford, Welbeck are synced up. by a code. Rashford's basically a glorified version of Welbeck. And Welbeck probably could have been as good as Rashford if his numbers were as good as Rashford's. Or if he took part in rituals. Rashford paying for school dinners. So they want you to worship Satanists. So they'll tell you Rashford's a good guy. And he's just giving people money to pay for school dinners because he never got school dinners when he was younger, even though he was at Man United Academy where they feed you. Because I know what it's like at an academy. They feed you. Brighton beat Liverpool 62 years ago at home and 14-1 1961. Queen's death, leaving 114 days left. Queen 62-26. So Brighton, if you're watching on my website, you know I was very adamant just through a quick code that Liverpool were not winning this game. I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why they make it hard, why I would have gone all in Brighton money line if there wasn't a possibility of the same outcome with a draw. So listen to this. Hey, Cable X Dialectics. Serious stuff, unbelievable. You're on the ball, my friend. Thank you. Notice every defender waits for the attacker to run at them. Do you know how many times, Brian? Again, because I've played at a high level, I can play the game. This is why I can expose it as well as anyone. How many times in the Premier League is a player dribbling with the ball and the defender backs off, and then leaves his legs wide open? So many goals go through the defender's leg. So I'm dribbling with the ball forwards, and that defender's backing off. Instead of going to the ball, narrowing the angle or putting him on the weaker foot, which you should angle your body, close them down almost like a surfboard position. What these defenders do, they run away. Watch the Giggs goal against Arsenal, where he's dribbled through them all, when Arsenal supposedly have the best defence in the world at that point. They're running away from him or diving in nowhere near the ball. Watch that Giggs goal. And then he just smashes it down the middle, where Seaman should have just been able to do that. There's demons involved. So anyway, listen to this. Why Brighton won. And again, why has Trent Alexander-Arnold gone from the best fullback in the world to one of the worst? It's not talent. It's the demon, it's the code that dictates how far they get. Trent Alexander-Arnold, with the demon inside of her, with 3 male names, number 66, like the book of Revelation is the 66th book, and the Church of Satan was founded in 66, and he plays for the Reds. Best fullback in the world. Well, how did he do at the World Cup? How's he doing this season? And at any point, they can make him the best fullback in the world again. Andy Robertson, released by Celtic, became the best left back in the world for a few seasons. Really? But you couldn't get in at Celtic? One of the worst leagues in the world? And now you're the best left back in the world? Really? I see through you, Andy Robertson. I see through you, Trent. I see through you all. All right? He's just going through a bad run. He's not confident. Wait, what they're saying about Trent Alexander-Arnold, that he's one of the most confident players in the world, that he's got so much swagger. They said when he was like 13, he had this incredible mindset and mentality, like a man, and now he's just lost his confidence. It don't make any sense. Hey, Prevail. Now check this out. This is as clean as it gets. And I'm going to show you why I'm smart with double chance and I'm not greedy. Listen to this. Give me a woo if you like this code. It's very simple. Brighton versus Liverpool. I'm not going deep here, so don't bet big. I always tell people don't bet big. But I saw something that hit me, which makes me like Brighton double chance at -150. Very nice value. This means if Brighton don't lose, you win. First thing I put was this. This is why it can be annoying, this. If Liverpool lose, it's the first thing I saw. If Liverpool lose, they will become 8-4-6 in the league. 8-4-6. Then I said, if Brighton draw, Brighton will become 8-4-6 in the league. I was like, that's annoying but beautiful. This 8-4-6 is going to hit. It's going to hit. But it would be frustrating if it hit and Brighton drew. So what do? You weigh up, okay, if they win, all right, they're plus, 200? Okay, nice. But if it's a draw, I'm going to be kicking myself. And I never told the community when I should have done. Let's do minus 150, which is very good value. And if Liverpool win, I put my hands up and go, it wasn't the 8-4-6. Why did I focus on 8-4-6? Now you're going to have your mind blown. At 8:46 a.m. on 9/11/2001, as all the world now knows, a Boeing 767 jet flew into the North Tower of the World Trade Center at 8:46 a.m. Now check this out. And I think they changed this because of me. Sounds arrogant, but it's very suspicious what happened here. So the media originally reported that Derek Chauvin knelt on George Floyd for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. 8:46. Like Liverpool's record now, 8:46. I did a video saying, wait, Derek Chauvin knelt on George Floyd for 8 minutes, 46 seconds, and 9/11 began at 8:46. That's very suspicious because the Twin Towers came down and George Floyd died in the Twin City. Shortly after, they changed the 8:46 to 9 minutes 29. Why? Was it because of my code? Who knows? But why? 929 is the 158th prime. The Society of Jesus were recognized by the Catholic Church 15:8. Freemasonry equals 158. Liverpool just dropped to 8:46, and at 8:46 a.m. on 9/11, a jet flew into the North Tower of the World Trade Center, and the media originally reported Chauvin knelt on George Floyd for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Now, unless something changes, who got the last goal of this game? A black player, Danny Welbeck. Who missed the penalties for England in the Euro 2020 final? All black players. Rashford, Sancho, Saka. Who missed the penalties for France in the World Cup final? Black players. Satan is a racist. There's no doubt about it, for whatever reason, and I don't know why. You only have to go back to the slave trade. You'll say it's just the rich white elitists taking advantage of the blacks. Satan doesn't seem to like African Americans. I think he's envious of them. I've said this before. African Americans, the ones that I know, and when you're talking about the world of entertainment, the strongest, fastest, most talented race is the African Americans in general. Tell me I'm wrong, in general. Let's look at the greatest athletes. Pele, Tiger Woods, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali. Satan, for whatever reason, guys, and I don't know why, you can say it's not Satan, you might just think it's man behind it, but the racism, and now for whatever reason, he's flipping it to Black Lives Matter. But I've told you the narrative behind that and what it really represents. It's to divide us. It's to divide us. So pushing Black Lives Matter, pushing the LGBTQ community. Prior to that, it was the opposite. It was white supremacy and be a white straight man. Now, being a white straight man in this world where the beast is reigning, you get called out for it. You get called homophobic. You get called racist. You get called all sorts. It's weird. It's weird. Brother, can you... The 10 hard code, I don't know where it is. It was on my Patreon, and that's been removed. But all you have to do is look at the league table and see Liverpool at 8-4-6 and go on my website and read my code. And you'll go, wow. You'll go, wow. So again, if people won money off it, great. If they didn't, they didn't. I'll put that code up on Twitter, on Instagram, and not to bring people to my channel, my website. I don't need more people. But I will keep revealing it. Simple as that. So I'm going to put that up right now. This code right here might wake up one person. Give me a second. And this is when I call these games so consistently, I just sometimes don't know how I feel about it. A lot of the times I want to be wrong. I'm like, please don't be a satanic ritual. Okay, it's a satanic ritual again, and every number I said appeared. I feel like, ugh. Sometimes I just want to be completely wrong about it. Don't you wish it was organic? I wish I still almost supported United and it was real. It brought me so much joy. But it's not. It's not. Pep said he gets flushes of inspiration for a minute doing his tactics. Pep does the triangles, baby. Is known for the triangles. The Illuminati. He coached in Bavaria, where the Illuminati were founded. The pyramid. When you talk about Guardiola, you talk about tiki-taka and triangles. Guardiola, mate, you're just sick. And there's sympathy for you because Satan's played you. And you've fallen for him. And you're trapped now. And you don't want to repent by the look of it. Don't a lot of these celebrities recently, though, look sad? Have you felt that? They're sad and a lot of them are dying or getting sick. A lot's being revealed. Bodies are shutting down on them. Their looks are disappearing. A lot of these GOAT athletes are coming to the end of their careers. I think quite a few of them, when it really kicks off with the end times, will repent and realize that Satan did them. They'll accept it. And still many won't. Still many won't. They're going to go with Satan. Patreon. What's my Patreon? I don't have one because they removed it because I was exposing far too much and they didn't like it. I was getting practically every sports pick right. I was calling out things left, right, and center. I had a stage on my Patreon where practically everything I said would happen happened. What happened? They took it down. The day after I found the Book of Revelation, Patreon took down my account, didn't give any justification for it. I had to set up my own website with an amazing guy called Gabriel. The website's thriving. I deserve it to thrive. It's my website. That's the link. It's $10. I've never changed. I saw people having one, I'm not going to say the person's name because, again, it's up to them what they do. It's their platform. One good month. Set up a Patreon, had one good month, not great, good, and then doubled their price after 1 month. I've gone 2 years, called futures in 10 different sports, daily picks, bang on, inspiring people, leading people to God, teaching them about the calendar, about astrology, astronomy, psychology, all of that on my, and I kept it at $10. That says a lot about me. It really does. It really does for what I've done and what I've revealed and how good I am to keep it at that price, to not outprice people. So I am aware $10 is a lot of money to a lot of people. I'm aware $10 is nothing to a lot of people. So I weigh it up. So when people go, Illusion, it's $10, it's nothing, it's peanuts. No, $10 is a lot of people to some people. The guy speaking to me yesterday, amazing guy, he literally said to me, your website's incredible, but I'm really struggling financially. I'm going to maybe take a month off your website and come back because $10 to me right now is important. I said, bro, just so you know, You can keep sending me messages. I'm not going to ignore you because you're not on my website. All right. Thanks for telling me. So I know $10 to me right now in my life, to me, is nothing. Right now in my life, $10 is nothing. To other people, it is significant. That's their dinner for 3 days. My mate William, I'm not going to get into, from Norway, incredible guy. He's telling me how much he's struggling. I can't give people free accounts on my website. I gave another free book out today. Somebody said, I can't afford your book, but I'd love to read it. Maybe next month. I said, I'll send you the book. Someone else said, I'll buy the book off you from $20, but I need to set up a PayPal. I said, if PayPal's a problem, I'll send you the book for free. And they know, these people are watching now, they know that. So, do you know how easy it is for me to put up my website to $20 or $15 and keep probably everyone there? Easy. Will I ever do it? No. No, I won't. I won't do it. I won't. However good I get, the 96% months, the 92s, still never up my price, did I? Because when I start doing it purely for money, that's when I deserve to go down. If I start doing it purely for money, I deserve that. If I do it for the right reasons, the money will come. That will just happen organically through the work that I put in. If I focus on the money element of it, and all these coders who are putting up, just won $300, come join the Patreon. You don't put up your slips when you lose, do you? You won't last very long in this game if you're doing it for those reasons. Purely money driven, you won't last very long. That's all I'm going to say. Would you buy David Goggins' inspiring book on life motivation? I'd have to read about it. I don't know much about it. I buy a lot of books. I read a lot. I'm definitely willing to invest in books. 100%. I love books. I would much rather read a book than watch a TV show. But I'd much rather write my own book than read somebody else's. I'd rather write my own. Yep, I did a whole post on that. Salah celebrated Christmas. He's supposedly a devout Muslim, yet he celebrated Christmas. Ask yourself how he gets away with that. The Egyptian king is celebrating Christmas and is a devout Muslim. And I don't know what, 5 million likes? Enough. So I'll call that out. I called out Christmas. I ruined Christmas. Salah works for Satan. Why didn't he score today? Because his code wasn't for him to score today. Satan didn't want him to score today. In regards to NFL, I'm not talking about the NFL. I code it again as well as anybody. My codes are always on my website. I don't want to talk about it unless I'm exposing it. I don't want to get into the Brady conversation if he's going to beat the Cowboys. I can't be bothered. But my website talks about these codes. There's a lot more people interested in sports now than I am. So you'll get involved in back and forth conversations with other people who do amazing codes, who give their insights. It's not just me. I built up a platform of incredible coders and people. You ain't coming just to read my codes anymore. Riddler, amazing guy. Rain and Pain, phenomenal. Casey, who seems to have more knowledge of scripture than anyone I've come across other than maybe Marco. Thomas Lockwood's phenomenal. Decode the Matrix 333 is amazing. Chuck is sensational. HDH Genesis is unbelievable. All right? And then there's other people that leave nice comments like Justin. They're not really into the code yet, but they provide the compliments that people do need in this world. We do need to be complimented. Zen is growing. Zen's another one who has a Patreon. All right? And what I'm starting to like now, there's people in the community that will go against my pick. And at the end, they'll go, oh, I should have gone with yours. Or they'll say, oh, maybe they did a better code than me. More often than not, they agree with me. So there's different minds there. There's different opinions. They're not idolizing the illusion, the guru. They know I'm very good at what I do, but I ain't perfect. And Casey calls me out on my knowledge of scripture all the time, and it's fine because I learn from her. I don't see it as a competition with her. People are promoting their Patreons every single day on my website. I promote them because if you want to support them, support them. I wish them all the best. I love Riddler, Michael Hassler from Austria, one of the most genuine people ever. And when he does well, I get huge joy because I know how genuine that guy is. And he really cares about people winning more than him winning. Thomas Richardson, much love to you. I don't have PayPal, but watching your vids is very entertaining. Again, I appreciate that. You don't have to support me financially. I've got people doing that. I work my ass off anyway without the website. So no one ever has to apologize and say, I'm sorry, I can't sign up to your website. I don't have PayPal. I don't have enough money. Don't apologize. Like, for example, now, Gary, you don't have PayPal? That's how people pay me for my book. Gary, I don't know who you are. Do you want my World Cup book for free? Do you want it for free? If you don't have a PayPal, that's the only way I receive payment for the book. Tell me if you want it for free. Give me a woo, Gary. Email me. I'll send you it for free. I'm not going to say, sign up to PayPal. I ain't giving you the book. That book is life-changing. And thanks to it, it's almost 400 people have bought it. Again, that's not going to change my life financially, but it's going to be nice. It helps. It's not going to change my life dramatically, like if I was selling 4 million of them. So, Gary, if you want the book, let me know. I'll send you it because that's how I am. I don't want to send 3 copies out to everybody because I think that's really unfair on the work I've put in. But there's certain situations where I will send out books for free if it feels right to me, and it feels right. Please look at the 49ers 1984 comments above. Okay, then I'm going to have to go. What gets my attention is that Maradona and Guardiola have ties with that soccer team from Sinaloa. Yeah, it's Dorados, which means gold, which connects to the crown. All right, where's your code? Does anyone read my former comments 1984? Kind of strange that Joe Montana and Steve Young born 1948 days apart. What? 1948 is when King Charles was born as well, if you want that one. 18849 makes me think of 1849ers from San Francisco. Joe Montana born 7117 days after the Pope, if you count the end date. My goodness. That connects to 88, doesn't it? Because 71 plus 17 is 88. Do you know of a guy called Forbidden Knowledge? He's also exposing a lot, but not code. He says he sees numbers in the world. No. Definitely look into the guy. But no. I don't really watch YouTube that often, to be honest with you. I don't own a TV. But when people promote somebody, I do give them a chance. I'll watch a video. And then I'll share it if I like it. And then it's up to other people what they think. I'm going to buy your book one day. I just need a month where I have some extra left over. Vaco, email me now. I'll send you the book. Email me now. I'll send you the book. And if you do manage to get $7 or $10, $7 next month, send me it. If you don't, keep the book. I just feel like that today. So email me now, Vaco. I'll send you the book. If you manage to have enough money to buy it in the future, in a month, 2 months, a year, send me it. If you don't, read the book, enjoy it. Email me. And I ain't proving a point that I don't care about money, because we all should care about money in this beast system. We should just not be obsessed with it. I know that book could change his life. It's changing people's lives. It's making them better coders, better people. So if you want the book, email me. Don't all of you do this. Not everyone in the chat email me thinking I'm just going to give everyone it, but if I read your comments and I feel like I respect you and you care, you deserve to read it. If you record it, book on tape, I'll buy it. Lady Hawk, Chuck bought my book, and it's super easy to listen to it as an audio. It takes 30 seconds. If you have a computer, you basically copy and paste the book, which takes about 2 minutes. And then you can basically have somebody read it out to you. That's what Chuck said. He said, I've listened to your book. I've listened to it. And you can choose what voice you want. There's not many options unless you pay. But Arsenal winning the league, Queen supports Arsenal. Yeah, she did. So did her mother. Adam, it's incredible you don't have a TV. How do you stay entertained? I stay entertained by entertaining other people. I do live streams, which entertains me, that entertains you. I go to the beach, that entertains me. Kenya entertains me. Phone calls with friends and family entertain me. Working out entertains me. I don't need TV to entertain me or professional sports. I barely have any time in a day anyway, even if I wanted to watch TV. I don't really have the time to do it. Playing the piano, I find that very enjoyable. Again, I would rather play the piano than watch somebody else do it. I'd rather write a book than read a book. I'd rather play sports than watch people play sports. I'd rather create a YouTube video than watch somebody's YouTube video. That's how I am. I'm a doer. I'm not really an observer. I'd rather do my own codes than watch somebody else code. That's who I am. Generous, Adam, I've always been generous. He is called King Charles III. He's the third king to be called Charles. Look what happened to King Charles I. I'd donate pay if I felt I got value from it, to be honest. You're not going to know. Again, anyone who's not on my website has no idea what I reveal on a daily basis. All they're going off is my live streams. Bri, you truly have no idea what I reveal every single day on my website and the people who are there. If you're not getting value from my website for $10, I'm completely baffled. Doesn't upset me or anger me. If you're not getting any value from my website for what I reveal every day of the month, which soon might be 6 out of 7, because it's outrageous that I work 7 days at the level I do. There's value. If you don't get any value from my FIFA book, and I know you're a fantastic football coder, that book right there, in my opinion, from what I've read, is the very best book to show you that the world's coded by doing what we do. You'll say Hubbard did what? No, I've read both of them. Doesn't touch that FIFA book. Doesn't. It breaks it down in such a clear way where you don't need to understand what I do to understand the code. That was my main goal of that book. Anybody who's never studied gematria or numerology or doesn't like football are going to read that book and go, shit, our world is coded. That's what my book does. And I've only been given exceptional feedback from everyone who's read it. Practically everyone who's purchased it's gone out of the way to email me. So again, it depends what $10 means to you, Brian. To not get value from what I'm doing is baffling. Did you eat? No. I'm going to go shower. You know what I'm going to do, actually? I'm going to go jump in the pool. Screw you, Liverpool. Getting bummed by Brighton. No shock whatsoever. But I'm going to jump in the pool so I get some exercise whilst it's not crazy hot. Then I'm going to shower. Then I'm going to go out for lunch. I'm taking Kenya for dinner tonight. I don't need to do any codes. Everyone's begging me to do the Jaguars code. As of now, I think the Jaguars win. But I might not do it. I don't have to code every single game for you all. If there's anyone on my website who loves that game, share your post. People can do what they want. I think Jaguars win. Plus money, but probably a sweat. We'll see. See what happens in the 49ers game as well. They rarely let both favorites win in the NFL if it's 2 games. The favorites are 49ers and Chargers. It's one of them. If 49ers somehow lose, Chargers will probably win. If 49ers win, it's probably going to be Jaguars, even though there's not that much difference in value. But they rarely let 2 favorites win in these games. I've learned that. It's like I told you, in early games in the Premier League, there's usually an upset, just like there was today with United and City. Often an upset in the early game. And the late game. Who were the favourite, Liverpool or Brighton? It was Liverpool. Liverpool were plus 110. They got beat 3-0. Man City were what, minus 130? They get beat 2-1. Just learning that stuff, learning that code. The Packers, when everyone thought they were going to clean up and win, I told everyone, Packers have a great code, but they're the last game, the primetime game. People are going to be waiting on the parlay for the Packers. And that's very concerning. What happened? Lions beat them. Destroyed loads of people's parlays. Because they weren't smart enough to get on the Lions plus 400 in play either. Stubborn or didn't have the money to do it. Didn't have the knowledge. Ego got in the way. So again, just learn the patterns of how it works. There's no gimmies in this, but there's definitely patterns. With early games, late games, primetime games are often super close. Practically every primetime game goes to the wire. So it's very good to get on the dog and the spread, which hits more often than not. Is Mexican food better than English? I believe so. More flavor, more variety. Mexican cuisine's been voted the best cuisine for the last 2 years in the world. Best in the world for the last 2 years by the official people who are behind it. Again, who are those people? But it's Mexican food. Mexican food's unbelievable. English food's a joke. It's actually hilariously bad. English food. There's no flavor to it. Although, again, if you're a good cook, my brother Tom's an amazing cook. He puts a lot of spice and stuff in his food. He makes an amazing stir fry. But the average English food that you eat has next to no flavor. But it can be enjoyable. You know what I mean? But it doesn't touch Mexican food. But that's all opinion, like nearly everything. I'm getting tense in the shoulders, so the swim might help. I've just given you 2.5 hours of my day on a Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yeah, I've destroyed. Fish and chips are good, mate, but what makes fish and chips? Tell me I'm wrong, happy face man. What makes the fish and chips? It's the curry sauce. Fish and chips with no curry sauce? Nah. Dry. Fish and chips, no like condiments, no ketchup, no mushy peas, no curry sauce. Fish and chips just on its Todd. Oh man, not great. Yes, you can smash vinegar on it. Woo! Sprinkle some salt on it. Woo! But you need the curry sauce. Gravy on fish, controversial, not for me. What do I think of Beethoven, Mozart? I absolutely love classical music. Do I believe Mozart and Beethoven were Satanists? Probably. So we still talk about them and they get promoted. But when it comes to the music, absolutely sensational for me. Classical music. Love Beethoven. Music, not Beethoven. So anyways, frozen oven food is horrible. One of the worst things you can consume is frozen food or microwavable meals. I remember in England, my dad got me one of these. Has to be the worst meal I've ever ate in my life. Tell me if anybody's had this. Would you eat Gordon Ramsay's food? I have. I went to Ramsay's restaurant in Vegas. Loved it. Not going to lie. Ramsay's restaurant was exceptional quality food. Unbelievable service. Unbelievable food. Do I like Gordon Ramsay, the Satanist, who had Hell's Kitchen? No. Is he funny? Could I still watch him and he'd make me laugh? Yeah. His humor's funny. Something frustrating about liking people who I know are satanic, but at the same time, if somebody sent me like Ramsay's best bits berating people, I would still somewhat laugh. I ain't this like completely devout Christian and stuff like that. I still watch Family Guy every now and again on YouTube. But my dad bought me this microwavable meal and it was chips and curry sauce. Microwave. So you're microwaving frozen chips, which already had the powder of the curry sauce within it. Oh, Dad, why did you do that to me? Was I a bad boy? And then I would eat the chips. It was like eating cardboard with this shitty curry sauce. I thought, what am I putting in my body here? Chips and curry sauce from the Chinese, that's a different scenario. Unbelievable. Remember, I bought my bros, Tom and George, chips and curry sauce. I think it was the day before I left. I got the chips and curry sauce in. I said, pick whatever chocolate bar you want. That was amazing, just sitting there with my brothers having chips and curry sauce. I want fancy. I don't like, let's go for lobster, guys, and I'll buy the champagne, like that way of living. Chips and curry sauce, get whatever chocolate bar you want, and an ice cold can of Coke. I know Coke's so bad for you, beyond bad, but it needed to be done with the chips and curry. Simple. At that moment, it had to be done, and it was done. It was done. So I really hope I get to see them in April. Microwavable McCann chips, they're beyond a joke disgusting. You always go out. Majority of the time I eat out, but I can cook. I'm not a phenomenal cook. I could host people and cook, and people go, oh, that's pretty good. Nobody would say it's terrible. I can cook. Don't like the idea of cooking and washing it up and preparing it all. I'd much rather go out. The only thing I treat myself to in this world at this point is food. Biggest pleasure I get is, other than like Kenya and knowledge, is food. My gift to me is food. I don't buy new clothes. I don't want a new car. I don't want to buy a house. My gift is food. When I order it and I'm waiting for it and I eat it and then like, oh, I might get a dessert. And then I'm thinking about my dinner later. So yeah, my biggest pleasure, like personal one, with what I do with money is buying food. And usually buying food for other people that I care about. Because food, it is, like Kenya says, chocolate goes straight to the heart. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does. But it also goes to your heart in negative ways. But you know what I mean? If you go through your whole life seeing the negative and everything, you won't put anything inside your body. You won't take chances with anything. You just hate life. Everything gives you cancer now, doesn't it? Literally everything they say gives you cancer. Things that used to be amazingly healthy for you. Have you seen the thing? My mate Simon sent me it. He didn't send me it, actually. He posted it. And you've probably all seen it. I can't believe I'm still talking. Listen. So a guy was like, I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to get healthy. And so he's eating eggs. We always got told, eat eggs, protein, good for you. Good start to your day, eggs. And then there was like a woman, an expert. I don't know exactly what she said, but eggs can give you cancer. They can da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da. And he's like, oh, geez. So then he eats something else like vegetables. It's like, okay, I'm eating vegetables. They've got to be good for me. These vegetables are full of pesticides and can lead to cancer. It's like, what? So if you're going to go through your whole life thinking like, oh, God, that's bad for me, you won't put anything in your body. They're spraying the air. Oh, I'm not going to go outside then. Like, don't let them do that to you. Just don't get greedy with food, with alcohol, with gambling, with your relationship, with women. Just don't get greedy. Sometimes you can have your chips and curry sauce and a can of Coke and a chocolate bar, and it's fine. Don't have to feel bad or dirty afterwards. Just don't be having microwavable chips and curry sauce, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then you should be feeling like a dirty bugger. A tin of beans a day helps keep the doctor away. Literally never heard that line in my life. But I do like some Heinz baked beans. Beans are very different out here, like the frijoles. Very different, but I have a newfound respect for the beans that they have here. They ain't Heinz baked beans, but they don't taste the same anymore. When I was in England at my mum's house, I was like, Mum, what's going on with the Heinz baked beans? She was like, yeah, they've changed the recipe. Why? Why did they change the recipe of Cadbury's cream eggs as well? Why? I've told you with my coding, it's at a high level. I don't need to change it. There's no need. So I think my passion for beans has gone from England because I had the beans and they were fine. Grated cheese, nice cup of tea, yeah, fine. Warburton's bread, good. Buttered, yes. Was it amazing? Did it blow my mind? Was I slightly disappointed? Yeah. If somebody offered me some beans now, would I take them? Yeah. Would I be super excited? No. Would I be smiling? Yeah. I still like the beans, guys, but they're not what they once were. Why did they change the recipe? There was no need. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right, I'm off. I'm off. 1849ers won the Super Bowl in 1984, yeah. Just like France won their first Euros in 1984, which connects to Orwell's 1984 book. 1984 was released in 49, which connects to the 49ers winning the Super Bowl in 1984. I thank you. 6079 Smith, superb. A Bible verse a day keeps the devil away. Love it. I like that. That makes sense to me. And don't just read one, guys. Read as many as you can. Spiritual growth, biblical verses. Oh, man. Oh, it feeds the soul. Biblical verses feed the soul if you truly are a believer. It's like when you're starving and you have that big bite of whatever you're eating. For me, what feeds my soul is scripture. It feeds my soul. That's why when I talk about it, I rant about it and it lights a fire in me, guys. But it won't do that to everybody. We don't all like the same books, do we? Or the same sport or the same movie. Biblical scripture does something to me that gives me an amazing reaction. So what do? I read it every day because I know it gives me that buzz. And I know there's no negativity to it. It's not like a drug. I'm not pumping heroin in my body for a buzz or drinking alcohol for a buzz. Scripture gives me the biggest buzz in life, followed by an omelette, 3 tortillas, large orange juice, possibly a large chocolate cake to take home for a cup of tea. That's slowly behind scripture. Scripture, omelette, 3 tortillas, large orange juice, possibly a large chocolate cake to take home with a cup of tea. 1 sugar, splash of milk. Woo! Woo! And again, guys, I'm at a point in my life, my codes keep hitting. If they stop hitting, it won't do anything to me. As long as I keep focusing on God and biblical scripture, all that other stuff, that's going to, whatever. I'm not bothered about it. If it keeps hitting, great, fine, but whatever. This power within me is the Holy Spirit, baby. That's what it is. All right. So I'm off. I'm going for a dip. And I really hope there's no one in that pool. The guy who's a really nice guy, I'm trying to swim, and he tries to talk to me as I'm swimming. Mate, I'm swimming. Let the man swim. I don't want to talk whilst I'm swimming. I don't want to do 1 lap and then have a conversation for 15 minutes. Let me swim. Let me get my strokes in, baby. Woo! And then we'll talk if you're still here. Again, those people who want that book who can't afford it, email me. I'll send you it today. But do me a favor and let me know how you find the book. Don't have to say it's incredible. Just tell me what part of it you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy any of it, you didn't spend any money, did you? Ooh. Adam, you need more chips down you with curry sauce. I agree. Just not the microwavable ones, baby. Are you enjoying it, Happy Face Man? He fancies you, baby. I think probably. Which is fine. Which is absolutely fine. You sent an email like Gary Brown. Let me find you. Gary Brown. Can't find it. Here it is. Gary Brown. Hi, Adam. I don't have PayPal. If you would like to send me the World Cup book, I would appreciate it. I've enjoyed the work you have put in and personally would like to get into Gematria. You are definitely gifted. Okay, I'm just going to put thanks for the support and I'm going to send you the book right now, brother. And I appreciate that. Again, not for my ego. The fact that my work inspires you is what I enjoy. So Gary Brown, 3999. Let me know if you've just received it. Let me know if you've just received it. Oh, thank you, Christine. Christine, this is crazy. This is the person who I said I would give the book for free. She said, okay, I sent you $20. Thank you so much. I don't know if you need my address. Definitely don't need your address. Thank you so much. And no, I don't need your address. But she's already sent me it. I'm not going to read it out. But I will say she's from the US. I'll send her the book. That's really nice. $20. That omelette is going to taste even nicer, baby. All the trimmings, lovely salsa. Let me see what number this is. 378. 378 books sold. Wow. And I'm not classing the one that I've given away. Although I probably should, but I don't. Thank you, Christine. The book is on its way, baby. You didn't have to send me $20, but you said you wanted to. So I'll take it. I'll take it. This is strange. So this sometimes happens. And again, you never know why. I've been bang on in January, but a guy, I won't say his name. Well, I'll say his first name. Stephen has cancelled his payments. And you question why, but it happens. You just don't know why. It doesn't bother me because 2 people signed up. Anyways, it just seems to work that way. So, yeah. There's no point. That's why I don't look at my reports. It is Gabriel who tells me how many members I have. I don't even look anymore. That's why I always say I've got over 400. I don't know exactly what it is. All right, I'm off. Happy Face Man, you fancy me. Wow. Okay. Cheers. Adam is the love of my life. Wow. 4 hearts. I love Adam as my brother. We can have banter together. Yeah, I agree with that. I thought you were being sexual here, but yeah. Do you have any HP sauce left, baby? Yeah, halfway through it, mate. Dangerous stuff now. It's one of them, every time I dip into it, I'm like, ugh, one step closer to it ending. But do I want to focus on the end of it, or do I want to focus on the moment of dipping my food into it and enjoying that moment? HP sauce will come and go. That's the reality. So next time I have HP sauce, I'm not even going to think, geez, one step closer to the edge. I'm going to enjoy it. All right? I wish we could snuggle. Jeez. Guys, it's getting a bit intense here. All right. 2 hours 48 into the live. The Ukraine declared its independence 24/8, which is Kobe Bryant Day. Look out for next year, 248 years after the US was founded. Everything comes and goes. Enjoy it while it lasts. There we go. I'll leave it on that one. Cheers, Hans. Great stuff on Rashford today. You called it. And I'm not even sure you bet, but you called it that he'd score. Right. I'm off. 39 in the live. Man City stayed on 39 points. Well, Guardiola, you weren't so good today, were you? You big, bald, satanic pillock. Woo, baby. I'm off.